Welcome, everybody, to the Gambit Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. Of course, as you can see, we got a full table with a person we haven't seen in a while. So I do got to start with Shadow, sir, and of course, Tafari TV and Show I Got Joe. Fellas, how you doing on this wonderful weekend?
Say my name and I'll appear.
That's my name. You don't get to do that.
I'm back, baby. Oh, it feels good to be back. Miss you guys, and miss being active, podcasting, and creating content and everything. Had to switch up my schedule and job and body pain, but I'm back, and it feels good. And can't wait to get started, man. So let's do it.
Sweet. Tafari, Joe, how's I know we made it to Friday. How you guys feel?
Trying to financially prepare for October.
Oh, Sparking Zero,
Sonic X Shadow, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom's in November, though.
Is it?
It's November.
It's in a paycheck window. It's still dangerous territory.
Yeah, feel that.
All of it's dangerous territory. Joe, what about you?
In a similar situation, Star Wars comes out next Friday. Next Friday, I also got to buy a ticket for the Star Trek convention happening in Murfreesboro because that's the big one. Then I got to start saving for all the Lower Deck autographs I'm going to get or photos. If I can just do a group photo, I'm good. If I got to pick and choose for autographs, I know what I'm going for. Other than that, no, that's it. I'm hot. I'm tired. I have water with me.
I can understand the tired part, but it's a good kind of tired. But you know, Zuri keeps us all awake. But anyway, as you can see, guys, we are a little bit older, so we do say choice words. But hey, words do fly. You guys already saw this coming, and of course, if you've known it by the title of this episode, yes, there may be some things that might be shown that might be too intense for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome, because the reason why I say that Gamescom 2024 has wrapped or will be wrapping up soon. Of course, we only watch it for the first day because, you know, Mr. Knightley decides to help us out by showing us gameplay or new games coming out or surprises. Before we get started on the first one, just roundabout quick table. Was Gamescom this year? Was it worth the watch, or could we just have waited?
I'll go first on this one because I watched the whole thing. It was Germany, so they let us know when things were not efficient and things were not liked because there was clapping and then there was dead silence for a lot of things, most notably Gearbox trying to go, hey, we got Borderlands 4 coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear someone changing, clipping their gun to get things moving.
Tafari, Shadow?
I missed the actual show. I will say, overall, from all the trailers I saw or what all got announced, it probably was not a high energy room.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything. I'm here learning everything for the first time. I've been in the shadows for a long time.
Literally, okay. as your name implies. Well, Joe actually did help me out with the transition on this one because yes, at the beginning of Gamescom, Mr. Knightley did sit there and say that Gearbox did have a surprise, and well, this was it. As Joe pointed out, they did announce Borderlands 4 in usual Gearbox fashion.
Okay, that was cool.
Riveting. So yeah, as Joe so eloquently said, when this was shown, of course, this was Gearbox's immediate response to the movie Borderlands and its wonderful, questionable run.
They should have put no actual movie shown in this movie for the movie.
I mean, when I tell you, and again, to Joe's detriment, when I tell you how quickly they hurry up and announced this and ran this trailer, you could have ran a Vine commercial next to this thing, and Vine would have been faster. That's how bad it was.
Man, that auditorium was like so quiet, and they were just like, "That is nice. Move on."
There was no response
guarantee
to
you
that
the reason
whatsoever.
why. Oh, go ahead, Tavares. Sorry.
I didn't catch the show, so I'm saying there was no good response to that.
There was no response.
And it was German, and not to make fun of the German people, because of course they're very stoic people. But when you don't even get Germans to clap, that's pretty freaking bad.
They're at least a good spirited class, but this is like, like I said, you could hear like a pin drop.
Right.
They had to move on. So on top of this, I guarantee you, this announcement went so early because this was supposed to be synergized with the movie because they thought the movie was going to do so well.
Yeah.
Guys, the movie just got announced. It's coming to streaming next week.
Damn.
I have never seen, and this is no. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, for all of us, because I know all of us in here are movie buffs. But when was the last time a movie appeared from theater to streaming inside the same month?
I think even Madam Web had a longer run.
Yeah.
And that was this year.
I want to make sure I look that up.
Okay, we'll rephrase that. Official streaming, because the day after Madam Web came out, they did have the Madam Web 24/7 channel on Twitch.
Oh my god!
And somebody decided that they just like to be in pain. But here's the thing, though. I love Borderlands. I loved every game from its inception, even the Telltale games, even Tales of the Borderlands. The problem is it's the timing. The movie, unfortunately, is not doing very well. As a matter of fact, it's going to probably wind up being a very big loss. The problem is, if you try to announce anything Borderlands tied to it right now, I fear it's not going to do well, because now nobody's going to really pay attention to the game, which is sad, because it's a very solid looter shooter. It really is. Even its DLCs are good. I just wish that Gearbox maybe should have hid their head in the sand for a couple months. That's all I'm saying. But is this going to stop me from playing? No, I still want to give it a fair shot.
I didn't like 3 at all. Like 3 was so boring to me. Like 2 and Tales are probably the best representations of Borderlands.
I've heard 2 was peak, and then 3 is very much a bronze medal of the fandom.
3
I haven't played a single game.
Same.
3 was overkill. I will say that 3 was overkill. 2 was great. 3 was overkill. So 4 at this point now has to be immaculate to save
the
itself.
Original Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the DLC, was good because that actually explored how do you help a child deal with loss and grief.
Mm-hmm.
The standalone Tiny Tina's Wonderland adventure, not that great.
Right. But no, it's just like I said, it's one of those things to where it's gonna have to do great things to save itself. But really quickly, speaking of great things, before we move on to the next trailer, Black Myth Wukong, have it, play it. It is freaking beautiful. It is definitely not. Say what?
I got a question.
Shoot.
Is this a Souls game or is this a God of War game?
Oh, good question.
It is a I'll put it this way. It is not a Souls game. It is, if you want to be honest, if I was going to compare the gameplay thing, it would be God of War Valhalla.
So Monkey War. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm seeing basically Journey to the West, only a little bit more straight from the influence.
Yes.
But still elements of Ashura's Wrath in there. Which I
pretty much.
I've heard the comparison to Ashura's Wrath, and I know from watching Maximilian Dude play it, this happens 1,000 or 1,500 years after Journey to the West.
A
And
thousand
now-
years after. Yeah, 1,000
Yeah.
years after. Yeah.
Now Sun Wukong is just like bored and mad with the Jade Palace for like no reason.
But it is beautiful. Oh, it is so. The reason why I say that because I know a lot of people right now are streaming it, which I hate. You couldn't give the game at least a full week before you decide to stream it. And
I see them
spoil
streaming.
it.
I see them streaming. They're not getting very far though. That's the funny part. Everybody I see streaming is like at the same area.
Yeah, and like I said, okay for all those who haven't played. Number one, you highly should. Joe will tell you I have been hounding this thing since it became a concept with Game Science. So I'm loving it. It is not a Souls game. It plays like God of War Valhalla. The story is great so far because I have not beat it. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that was on the fence about Black Myth Wukong because again, if you have not read Journey to the West, please read that too. That is a great story. But yeah, Black Myth Wukong, you can't go wrong. But speaking of things you couldn't go wrong, because again, we knew a Street Fighter King of Fighters collaboration was going to happen. We saw a couple of their characters go over, and now because we kind of got spoiled by this because we knew Terry was going to be in Street Fighter. We just wanted to see the gameplay that went along with it, and we actually get that at Gamescom as well.
He is glorious.
Okay.
This is gonna be fun.
Fighter 2 intro.
I'm still on a journey. Go get some. Traveling to new places, experiencing new things, meeting new faces, having good fights. Fight, drink, eat, sleep, repeat. Seriously, it's a good life. I'll pick up the check.
Terry goes for a walk.
Who is in the background? Who can just spot? I can spot Joe, Blueberry, Poison, Duck King.
Hey, come on!
Axel from Guilty Gear. Clean.
Time for one more. Time for
Oh my god, he's got that?
Are you okay? Yeah, baby. Now, where to tomorrow?
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So
Oh,
much to
it is
unpack. The
definitely
most
cool.
dangerous thing I've seen thus far in this is he has lane hop in this. He has old school Fatal Fury 1 and Fatal Fury 2 lane hop. He
Yeah.
does that to Luke. Also, if you're a giant Fatal Fury nerd like I am,
Mhm.
his level 3 starts with the old school Fatal Fury, the motion picture start of the giant tornado move he does to geese. Stance and everything. God, I love this thing. They've also shown his character select screen. He's sitting there playing a Neo Geo arcade machine.
Nice. Well, that's why I want to start with you, Joe, because you already said in the group you already know who your main in Street Fighter 6 is going to be. But this
Finally,
does kind of
somebody
wrap
other than Manon.
right. This does kind of wrap up year 2. The reason I want to stop here because, as you can see, guys, Mr. Terry will be coming in autumn of this year. So
We have a date.
Oh, we do. Go ahead. What was the
Yes,
date?
it's the same day as the Mortal Kombat
Not the
Kombat
day
expansion.
The day
September
after.
24th.
Brains back.
Yes, and everybody in FCG said, we're very sorry for your loss in Mortal Kombat, but no one's coming to season 2. Everybody's got to play the Hungry Wolf.
I will.
Is everybody really over Mortal Kombat already?
Mortal Kombat 1 is having a ridiculous amount of problems right now in the FGC.
Really?
Like a lot of problems.
They're about to patch it up very soon just because of stage issues, combinations. Pretty much, think of every problem that had with Cyberpunk 2077 basically applied to Mortal Kombat 1 right now.
Jeez.
I'll put it that way. Everything you think that could happen is actually happening with Mortal Kombat 1. But as you can see, guys, so far we know in Bison, Terry, Elena, and Mai, which she'll be coming in winter of next year. But again,
no. Remember, it's Japan.
Oh, right.
Winter so winter 2025 means winter this year into next year.
Keep forgetting that part.
Bison, Terry, Mai, Elena.
Right. Keep forgetting how Japan works, but thank you for that.
It's so annoying. I hate
winter
that
meaning early spring for us, technically?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Technically, yes. Because I keep forgetting how Japan works with their releases. So, yeah, Joe's 100% right. I keep forgetting that part.
No, that's for me doing anime for so long.
But, yeah, it is definitely going to be fun to play him. I have got to get back into fighting games. But before we get into the next fighting game, Monster Hunter Wilds did actually release their trailer as well. And if you've never played Monster Hunter Wild, Joe, because I know you're heavy into it, anything you want to let the trailer speak for itself, or you want to pretext from what we saw from Gamescom?
Aside from Gamescom having a horrible build at the show itself, everybody agrees the frame rate is god awful there right now. Like they brought a terrible alpha build. I do not, or whatever demo build they're going with. It's like across the board. Even IGN's like, "Hey, we played it. The frame rate's terrible. It is not indicative of the final product."
I almost want to say, did IGN give it high remarks just to be different? Man, we all know IGN. I'm just saying, but
it's really hard for me to say, like, because this is going to be such a new. Every Monster Hunter is a new and unique experience, so I can't really tell anybody what's going on outside of, hey, we get focus attacks and we get to bring 2 weapons with us now from now on.
Okay, fair.
But for everybody hop on and play because I've been wanting to play Monster Hunter for a long time.
Oh, trust me, you're gonna like this.
My word, is this a Lollabarina floret? We must be near its nest.
Okay, kill it. Fire.
Abraham. All right, let's go. Now's our chance. We go all in. We could do a lot worse for an interim camp.
Once your business here is concluded, you should find shelter. The sands come alive this time of year, like a wild beast bristling with lightning.
From the look of it, that must be this region's apex predator.
Guild permission granted. Begin the hunt.
Understood.
tasty.
I'm not gonna lie, it's always the last part that makes me freaking hungry. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's Monster Hunter: The Wilds, guys. That comes out in 2025. I'm definitely gonna be sold on it. But Tafari, Shadow, what do you guys think?
I don't know if I'll pick it up, but I think it's the most like cinematic reveal I've seen from a Monster Hunter title.
I mean,
Yeah, I keep on well, let me leave that wrong. I started one for Rise and need to go back and lost and never finished it. I need to be more consistent on Monster Hunter games, but every time I do, there's always something else that comes up and my attention goes elsewhere. But I promise on this one on Wilds, I am definitely sticking through it. But Joe, anything more you want to add to that on that side of it, or?
I mean, I need a hunting group. If you all hop on, I can carry you guys. I'm a hunter rank of 217 now.
That just sounds so bad.
okay. I mean, hey,
It
was my first game, so I'll need somebody to help carry me for a while. Sure.
Oh, I'm in the most end game of end game points right now. The game is literally telling me reach master rank 100. I'm master rank 82 at the moment.
Jeez.
Okay, fair enough. But before we do get into the Dying Light trailer, we do have a little bit of news. This just recently released, and quite pleasantly surprised about this one. James Spader's Ultron will be coming back in MCU's Vision spinoff show. For all those who don't remember Age of Ultron, Mr. Blacklist himself did voice the iconic villain, and for a lot of us, we sat there and said that this was not the end of Ultron. Especially since his showing in What If in that story, and because, well, he's Ultron. You're not going to kill him off in one section of the MCU and not bring him back. So, round table, guys, knowing this information, are we happy that we're going to see another round of Ultron, especially with James Spader voicing him, or how do we feel about it?
I mean, it was inevitable. Like, it's freaking Ultron. Ultron does not stay dead.
Pretty much.
Like,
he does not.
You can kill one body, you can send it off into space, you can do whatever you think you can do. Ultron does not stay dead. So this was something that, here we are in the 15th, almost 16th year of the MCU.
Yeah.
And everyone's multiverse this and Loki story gods this and it's dead. It's on. Dude, this villain has been sitting in the background through all of this, just biding his time. Now that begs the question. This is called Vision Quest. It's obviously about Vision, trying to regain, what he was. Is Marvel going to pull the wool over our eyes? Oh, James Spader returning, but it's only like a Vision, like as he's regaining his memories, or like there's like a one-on-one chat with the Ultron bot for one episode, like or are they actually bringing him back as the main villain or the main conflict? That begs the question of what this is going to do. Is it going to be a one-off, or is he back to actually cause problems that will last and add to the current main, stuff that's going on in the MCU right now? That's the question.
Who's to say he's not a voice in Vision's head?
That's true.
Right. He could very much be like DBZ abridged Nail and just
yeah.
We have Minesweeper.
He got a backup of himself on like a 1 gig flash drive and a Commodore 64 somewhere.
He already came back once. He's the primary villain in that Avengers Disney cruise, where Carol, Sam, and Ms. Marvel are the main characters doing new Avengers stuff. So it's like Sam in his white Captain America suit.
Yeah.
Technically, if we're counting games, and he's returned twice, because there was that Damage Control game where you took on like the vibranium Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
and MCU characters, not any other Marvel characters, MCU characters fought a returning Ultron. So technically, this is the third time he's returned, but we haven't really seen any supplemental thing about making those canon. So this is the first time.
True, and also shout out to the man on the wall because he did say, "Didn't we call this?" Yeah, you did.
We all did. Called it.
We all called it because we all sat there and said it would be a shame to waste. It would be a shame to waste such a prominent villain on a single movie. We all sat there and said it. I'm not against it. I think, like I said, I'm with Joe. I think he's going to be more of a prominent voice in his head because, again, the way they crafted Vision, Ultron is a part of him. And at the same time, the conversation they did have at Age of Ultron, and of course, he's still got that Ship of Theseus thing going. So
right, which he'll have the same conversation just with either Ultron in his head or plugged into some old off-network LAN computer somewhere.
Right.
But he definitely is probably going to be retracing his steps, which may include the collision of whatever program Tony and Ruffalo made, which then collided with Jarvis and then kind of gave birth to him in the first place.
Pretty much.
That's true. So, do you think? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you think since they've gotten him back? I mean, James Spader is a pretty big deal. Not Robert Downey Jr. big, but still a pretty big deal. Is this just a one-time thing? Like, is he back for just this show, or if they do any semblance of Battle World type stuff in Secret Wars, will he be back for that? Will we see a section of Battle World like in the comics where it's just nothing but Ultron?
I think they will make the same mistake. I think that I'll put it this way, because the way they're doing Giancarlo Esposito's Sidewinder character and not making him a one and done, I think they're learning their lesson as far as prominent villains that can carry a series, and they're going to have them in multiple series. So for me, I think Spader is going to be around for a long time, just because, again, Ultron is prominent in every part of the MCU, so why not have him ongoing? I mean, in the same sense, it's just like with any other prominent villain. You don't off a villain that is giving replay value, because let's be honest, if you really think about the category of villains that we got in the MCU so far, if you had to rank the ones you wanted to see again, did you want to see Tom Hiddleston represent his character back as Loki? Do you want to see James Spader come back as Ultron? Do you want to see Christian Bale come back as Gore the God Butcher in a different
probably not that one.
Better animated, actually with makeup.
Right.
But yeah.
But what I'm getting at is, for the ones that have that replay value, that you can tell different stories, it would make sense to keep bringing them back, because those are the ones that are going to basically make your movies. Because again, 90% of most superhero movies are dependent upon a solid villain. Don't believe me? Look at Fast X. Jason Momoa is the only reason I will watch Fast X. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say the better Marvel analogy would be the Marvels. The movie's fun, but that villain is, I don't even know her name.
Dar-Ben or something like that. Ben-Dar, something like that.
Dar-Ben. Well, that's what I'm getting at, though. It's like, if you had a different villain, because Captain Marvel's got villains. Why they went with that one? Okay, don't know. I'm not the director. I'm not the writer. But that's the part I'm getting at with Spader in Ultron. Yeah, I mean, the guy has the voice. He can do the monologues, no problem. So why not use him in other parts? Is what I'm getting at. So I'm hoping, and again, they didn't say, because I was trying to do some research on this. They didn't say how long he was signed on, but I have to assume it's for multi-projects. I'd have to assume that. I can't assume
at least. What if 3? Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not. What if season 3? Because that's already been recorded.
Mm-hmm.
But most definitely at least a show, and maybe probably something with Wanda and Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we're getting Marvel.
Not good.
We're getting Marvel Gundams in What If season 3. I'm so hyped for that.
I'm still trying to figure out why 3 is the end. There's literally infinite possibilities.
Wait.
Yeah.
What they end? That's the last season?
Yeah, they're ending the What If series. I know.
My exact reaction.
That's so stupid.
It is. And
I know there's a guy who's working on rebuilding his What If channel and actually dropping videos in October. So maybe he'll do some more Marvel What Ifs coming soon.
Moscow X, is that the joke?
Oh, you're funny.
You're
funny, Joe. I meant me. I'm working on it. It's me. Okay, I'm doing it.
You did kind of open the door on yourself on that one, Shadow.
I know. I walked right into it.
But no. Again, with James Spader being Ultron, I think we can all say that we're all happy to have him back, and hopefully he will get the same monologues that he did in Age of Ultron moving forward. But back to trailers. Dying Light, The Beast. If you're a fan of Dying Light, this is their next one. I thought it was going to be Dying Light 3, but this is actually a throwback to 1 because the character from 1 is the continuation in this story.
The tracks lead this way. He's close. Stay here. Stand guard. On me. Bloody hell. Contact!
Every man has an animal within. If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Hey, that beat was going hard. I'm sorry. I was in there vibing.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it. Now, the character in this one, because again, I am a huge fan of Dying Light, although I was hoping for a Dying Light 4, but I guess it's close we're going to get. The main character from 1, they didn't say if he turned. That was the big thing about 1, whether or not he was turned at the end. So, because they're kind of insinuating that either he's turned or he's hunting another animal, in this game. They didn't say 100% with 100% certainty if he was the one that turned or not, but I'm looking forward to playing it. At the same time, you can't help but look at Dying Light and just yell parkour every time you're doing runs and jumps and stuff. But
Parkour.
I said, Dying Light, was Crane in Dying Light 2 at all?
Say that one more time.
Was Kyle Crane in Dying Light 2 at all? Because I watched some gameplays, but I know they referenced him, but didn't talk. They mentioned him like once or twice.
He was mentioned, but I don't think he was in it.
Because I know the second one.
He was mentioned in the second one in lore parts, but no.
It's like 20 years after the first, and then the first has the story DLC where your options are, I think you turn or you like nuke the place.
Yeah.
And you not really. I'm guessing we went with the turn ending, or you got control of it, or whatever that was about.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see where it goes from there on that. But I'm definitely down. Joe, Shadow, anything more you want to add to it?
I've never played any of the Dying Light games, so again, there's a lot on my list I would like and love to sit and just play. Mm-hmm. And Dying Light has actually been on the list for a while. So who knows? I might pick this up, or I might go back and try to do the whole series. Who knows? We'll see.
Nice. Okay. Well, the next trailer we have is basically another one for Sonic and Shadow Generations that shows the Doom powers off. Tafari, do you want to explain that one or just let that one run?
I will just let this one run.
Yeah, fair enough.
Something calls to me.
We meet again, Shadow the Hedgehog. Struggle all you want. You cannot deny your fate.
A new power.
Oh.
I am the true ultimate life form.
Okay, so apparently the Eye of Sauron gave prototype powers to Shadow.
That's what I've been saying. It's Shadow meets Prototype is what I'm getting, but I'm not mad at it. Also,
No. The Eye of Sauron gave him new powers to win more death battles in the future.
You're all wrong. He just has gained his ultimate edgelord form. Now no one understands him. Not even his...
Is it bad that I want to say Bankai? every time
damn near.
I kind of wanted to say it. I was like,
not even.
It'd be appropriate.
Well,
It'd be
whatever
appropriate
the form,
for that. So.
Well, whatever the form was when the Bond guys had to use half hollow powers and they all got like deformed versions, it's like
yeah. I had to give it credit to that one, but that was the Doom powers for Sonic Shadows Generations, and we have the collector set. Now, when I first saw this, and before we started the podcast, Tafari had pointed this out, and I'm like, is that a Sega Dreamcast with Sonic and Shadow on? I'm like, please don't tell me that's a working one. Well, it's not. It's a collector's item, but still, Sega. Sega, we got to talk. The Dreamcast was ahead of its time. You can always bring it back. That's all I'm saying.
Also, damn you, limited run games, because of all people, why would you choose them to do your distribution? Because this took 2 years to arrive at my damn door, and this was just a port. And not even the version I thought I was going to get. It's the damn PS2 edition.
Damn.
Of Force Unleashed. And I think they've already said that they're sending the game first, and then you're going to get the rest of this whenever the hell. So that's already looking.
That sounds uber crappy.
Yeah,
especially with everything that you're getting. A soundtrack, jewel case, figurines, a steel book. The statue is what sells it to me.
I will buy the steelbook off somebody, but with limited run games, they usually take they'll bring back classics or they'll get the physical rights to usually a digital only game, and usually what it is, they'll take orders. They will make as many as they get.
Oh, it's a make to order scenario.
Make to order, and then usually within 4 to 6 months you'll get the game. I got Force Unleashed, I got Star Wars, Republic Commando, TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, and Samurai Jack Battle Through Time are the 4 that I got from them. And recently they had a change of command, which is why Force Unleashed took so damn long to get to my door. I forgot I ordered it 2.5 years later. It showed up.
Jason,
wow!
And people were mad, genuinely pissed. They got one that it took so long. 2 that they got the dumbed down version for the play. If you ever played the PS2 port or the Wii version is a very different version of the game. And now they're moving more into mainstream media. So now everybody's like, of all companies to handle this big a project, why would you pick them? Because you'll probably get the game in October. You'll get the rest of that shit in like next December.
Damn.
Jeez.
Maybe they got it together. I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but for those of us who've been burned before, we're just taking the loss in this one.
Oh, it definitely sounds like that. But again, the game looks great. I have to stick with that in my mind. But speaking of things I have to stick with in my mind, that every time I see Batman Arkham Shadow, I like it, but I'm mad that it's on Facebook Meta. Because again, if you have VR, you're looking forward to this. If you don't have VR, well, you're gonna be mad about it.
It has my namesake. This is what I'm giving it.
This rat cult spreads through Gotham like a plague. I have to stop it, even if it consumes me.
The corrupt system has failed you. Are you not angry? Fight back!
It's the freaking bat!
We aren't afraid of you! The bat dies tonight!
Jim, this Rat King could be anywhere. A face in the crowd, a foot soldier in his own fanatical mob. So how in the hell do we find him?
Targets are all city employees, civil servants, public officials.
You could have been more than a symbol. You could have been a god.
Look out!
You don't calm down. Someone's going to die.
Alfred, we tried it your way. Now we do it mine.
Something big's going down tonight. We repress our rage, our fears. It feeds the shadow deep inside us.
You're everything that's wrong with Gotham! I'm done holding back! I can bring the Rat King to you.
Okay.
See, this is what I see again. I'm not against whenever a Batman Arkham game comes out. I'm never against it. Arkham Shadow looks like it'll be hella fun to play. I don't think it should be played in VR because that's a lot going on in a first person view. But again, if you have the Facebook Meta system, have at it. It comes out 2 months from now. But fellas, is it enough to make you want to try it in VR, or are you just gonna wait for the port?
If they make a port, I'll take it. But otherwise, Let's Players and YouTubers, y'all got it.
Well, considering what we know how this Batman story ends, thanks to a certain game, what's the point? Now, obviously, this is right after Origins, or at least like what, a year or two after Origins, because
this is actually a year after Arkham Knight. No, scratch that. No,
This is an early.
It has to be Origins.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it has to be Origins because you saw Bobby Gordon still walking.
Yeah.
I think Cash still had his hand at some point, and so adding more
voice actors. They got the other voice actors, so this is definitely before Asylum. So this could be a year or two, or it's got to be. If they do more of these, they have to all be early era Batman from now on.
Yeah.
Well,
Shadow is right. It did come out after Origins, so he's right. This is a year after Origins.
So with the timeline for the Arkham series is over a span of 12 years.
Right.
Starting from the pop of Martha and Thomas to the end. That's not counting Suicide Squad. I haven't seen that added to anybody's timeline. So yeah. But so this happens right after Origins, but right before he teams up with Robin, which in that span of time, I think from Origins to when Robin comes in is only I think it's 2 years after the events of Origins, if I'm going about the timeline correctly. So this has to be that year after Origins, or I mean, honestly, it could honestly be right after. What was the DLC? The Icy Heart or Heat of the Night? So it was something like that.
Yeah, cold heart.
Yeah, cold heart. Like the timing being right after that. That way, it gives enough time to slide in, not mess with anything with the timeline, and then the rest of the timeline can go smoothly. That makes the most sense to me. Honestly, the story looks cool. Picking the Rat King to be an enemy like that, which is something that could play to the psychological aspects of this universe in the series, but not take away from all the other villains that he's had to deal with.
Makes sense.
I mean, it definitely was a good choice to pick him. I mean, as long as they didn't pick Condiment King, we're okay. So we're good there. But yeah, I mean, once it ports, I'll give it a try. I'm not the biggest fan of VR games like that, but it's Batman, and it has the word Shadow in it, so I'm all in. It's me.
Yeah, I think it'll be ported, but like you said, it's kind of a long shot on that. But moving right along, I did want to cover this one because Joe brought this up. At first, I thought he said Death Race 66, but it's actually called Death Sprint 66. Looks interesting. So, want to let you know what you guys think.
Peggy 18.
Ooh, spicy.
There's lots more to come.
Huh.
You know, that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
That reminds me of Ghost Runner, except, apparently there's a timer strapped to your back.
So is this the first time we've gotten like a super amped up like running race game?
Of that nature, I've never actually really seen a sprinter game like that since track and field. So I could be wrong about that because I mean the whole running format. If you play Ghost Runner, it kind of has that feel, but you're seeing it from third person.
Okay,
but no, I mean I kind of want to give it a shot just because it's like what happens if you put racing, explosions, and apparently a timer, but I'm down to give it a shot. What do you guys think?
I think it'll be an interesting party game because games like Fun Run and stuff in the early days of iOS, they did something similar to this. It's like it's almost like if everybody watched Dead Man Wonderland when they used to do death races in that.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a fun concept upon release.
Yeah, I think so too.
My only complaint is that it's only on Steam at the moment. I want it to be on the consoles.
I think it'll get to the consoles personally.
If it does well enough on Steam, it'll get ported.
Yeah, I think so. Before we get to Fatal Fury, because we do have a couple of news from there, I have to ask questions because somehow, some way, this keeps coming back, and I really want to know who in the world likes this game. But I guess there's a game for everybody.
Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border. Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border.
I'm so confused right now. What the? What? What did I just watch?
The most random game that this everything that came out around this and Minecraft just keeps coming back. I thought it was 3. I didn't realize it was a remaster that they announced.
You know what I loved about this? Now that I watched the trailer a second time, they made fun of so many games.
Yes, they did.
The clipping, the GTA, Skyrim.
Yeah, they made fun. They took shots at everybody. It was like, how did we get ours remastered faster than you guys did? But again, if you're a fan of Goat Simulator, well, it's coming out this year for PS5. Somebody likes it. I'll give it to marketing. Marketing had this right. It's like, we're gonna get this out faster than the other games. Although GTA 6, y'all guys gonna be waiting a while.
Yeah,
not as long as Kingdom Hearts. Sorry, Tafara.
Hey.
I knew better than to get my hopes up. I can't speak for everybody else.
I know it's gonna take a while for Kingdom Hearts to come out, but hey,
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to dig the wound. I'm just saying, GTA 6 might beat y'all. But anyway, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, did have 2 trailers. First, the original, and then the introduction of a new character.
Southtown, a city of wild ambition, a city where legends are made. Here, vengeful wolves fought against fate and won. But fate has no finale. Now, 25 years later, are you ready to rock the city once more? The action kicks off with 22 characters, a mix of 17 familiar faces and new blood, plus 5 DLC fighters and Season Pass 1. Introducing the Rev System, a special offensive toolset you can use from the moment the battle begins. Fight at full throttle and supercharge the excitement. Gain access to Rev blows and strength buffs when your health gauge enters your selected SPG zone. Classic series mechanics are back in full force, and then some. Perform flashy combos at the push of a button with a smart style control scheme. When you're ready to take on the world, jump online with crossplay and rollback netcode. You can even hone your skills against auto-generated AI clones. Strive for supremacy in an all-new RPG mode, EOST. Level up your fighter, equip skills, and dominate the opposition on your way to the top. Customize characters your way with color edit, outfits, gear, patterns, and more. Groove to your favorite Fatal Fury songs in the jukebox. Create playlists and customize background music too. Fates intertwine on the streets of Southtown in the struggle for Geese's legacy. Rev it up! Your legend begins now. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Coming April 24th, 2025. Pre-order now. Available as a special edition bundle featuring the base game and Season Pass 1. Pre-order your copy for a bonus Fatal Fury 2 Terry DLC costume and 3 days of early access.
I mean, you can't beat that with a stick. But yeah,
I've got to get back into playing games.
Oh, I gotta get back. I need to get back into it. But that was Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. As you can see, guys, they're actually doing something different, and I gotta give them credit for this. Yes, it's $60. Yes, it's the first season. Yes, we know there's a tier system that goes with these fighting games, goes with the territory. However, what they're doing with theirs is, and I just need to get back to it because I just wanted to show it for a second. What they actually did was you're basically getting the base game and the season pass as a bundle. Not too many other fighting games are doing that, which actually I do like. So there is a little bit I can take from this outside of the fact I will be playing this, but at least you don't have to pay extra for the season pass, for the first season pass, I should say. But what do you guys think?
So you're getting Terry in it, or you're getting a Terry themed costume?
Terry themed costume.
Terry themed costume is what you're getting.
Okay.
So
the word.
Yeah, with special edition. Yeah, with a special edition, you're getting his costume for Fatal Fury 2 and early access.
Okay.
So yeah. But again, I'm not knocking it. I like it. Again, the fighting season is wrapping up. I know, but wow, that was terrible promo. They just talked about wrapping up, and here I am talking about it. Because we know this is going to be prevalent in most fighting tournaments, including Evo. So, again, Fatal Fury has always been a solid fighting game. I know, Joe, you know more about the lore than I do, but I know you're already going to be into this on this one. But anything you want to add to it?
God, yeah. No, so, here's how we look at this. Fatal Fury and Tekken both have their DLC passes, which are $60. For 60, but that's just for the DLC. KOF, as much as I've seen the praises of Street Fighter for getting Terry, if you're getting the entire season 2 pass, that's $60.
Yeah,
$60 for SNK, because SNK, despite having one of the pillar of fighting games in terms of Fatal Fury / KOF / Art of Fighting, they all run together. It's all one thing. Except for World Heroes and King of the Monsters. Those are its own separate thing over there.
Yeah.
Despite having one of the pillars, SNK is not currently in the position where they can afford to say DLC for 5 characters is $60. Because remember, they are the most financially hard off out of everybody. SNK went through a lot of problems through the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Where they were SNK Sammy, then SNK got itself, and Sammy bought Sega, so it was Sega Sammy. So we're in this period where they did this with Samurai Showdown, where the base game is $60 and you get 5 characters out the gate. 22 characters is a pretty decent sized roster. That means we know maybe only a quarter of the roster at the moment.
Yeah.
Including who we're getting ready to look at, who, by the way, is now 35. I'll bring that up for purposes. No, the age got released. She's 35.
I know. I'm just chuckling myself.
Grandma always told Jane and I, it all goes in one night. It'll happen to you. So no, back to the topic at hand. $60 for 27 characters plus costume. That's a really good value for a fighting game. An outstanding value for a fighting game.
If only other ones would follow. But The
Well, they
reason
don't
why
have, that's the thing is they don't have to follow because
Mhm.
the other two were fully established and know they're going to sell that.
True, but again, SNK, I think SK keeps people in mind, but like you said, they're not really in a financial position to be as demanding as other fighting games.
Also, keep an eye on Twitter. I noticed yesterday SNK put out, I think it's an anniversary for KOF. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's KOF's 20th anniversary this
Yeah.
year, and there's supposed to be like an announcement tomorrow. I'm not
So-
sure what it is. I hope to God it's not a pachinko machine. Hope it's like some sort of collection.
You know, all I'm sitting there saying is since we already got SNK, SSA, SVC Chaos, it would be freaking nice. But
Capcom versus SNK 2, absolutely.
yeah. But to also bring up the person he's talking about that's 35 is the newest character that they did announce is also in City of the Wolves.
Want a little taste of Shiranui fire?
Why do y'all keep putting pants?
You ready? Feel the flame.
Yes, set a good example for her little brother, Kodomaru.
Bump them kids. Okay, that's more like it.
Ode on the light, Akatsumi! Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Tafari, just send that to me. You don't need it. You don't need it. Just send it to me.
It actually doesn't run for too much online. I tried picked it up a couple weeks ago, but God, do they throw you in? There's no tutorial. It's hey, pick one of these 3 styles, go play
and figure it out.
So
I'm
here's
just
how
saying.
that actually works. You need to look at it because each groove is basically a fighting game. So like K groove is Samurai Showdown, S groove is Alpha 3, N groove is KOF 96, 97. One of the grooves is Street Fighter 3.
Nice.
Okay, but back to the my thing. Yes. So for those who are not aware, the lowest selling KOF was KOF 13, and there was a reason for that. It did not have my Shiranui. And as so everybody knows, no my, no buy.
Oh,
they learned that lesson once.
You know, pants. Why y'all keep putting pants? First you did it to Cammy, now you're doing it to Mai.
All I can sit there and say is someone is a coder from DOA. That's all I could say. The DOA aesthetics are definitely prevalent in City of the Wolves. That's all I'm going to say.
She did appear in the latest. She did make a guest appearance in the latest DOA.
Yeah, it
really.
Yeah, the physics are there. The physics are definitely there.
C groove, A groove, S groove, and it's all just tactics and command. I don't understand what I'm reading right now.
So the grooves are how you fight in that game. We're talking. So those of you doing the podcast, Tafari held up PS2 Capcom versus SNK 2. Quite possibly one of the best crossover fighting games of all time. And I'm trying to explain to him how the groove system works. So the groove system is how your fighter will interact with super meter and super moves. So you can give stocks, you can do custom combos, all sorts of things. So you just pick a groove, and a groove is basically just what fighting game did that come from? Because I still
the whole list in here is just combo. Like you have to be a fighting game fan to understand the way they are speaking to you in this manual.
Yes, hello.
You have 3 modes. It is arcade versus in survival. Which one you want to do?
Right.
Also practice.
But it definitely is up there, though. But still, the whole idea, I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the trailer. The trailer is where Shadow's commentary and the trailer behind it had me kind of laughing for a second. That's why I was like, thank God I was muted because I was laughing my head off over here. But no, but it does look great as far as that setup goes. But
Tafari, I still got this.
What was that?
The Brady Games version of SNK. The Brady Games guide, which is pretty much like the Bible to a lot of these games.
Oh,
okay. Which is kind of saying a lot. But as you guys are looking into that one, guys, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, I'm going to be honest, we were expecting gameplay or at least something more just because, again, this is an Indiana Jones game. It's supposed to look great. I'm going to let you guys be the judge on this one because right now I'm not so sure. But if you haven't seen the trailer from Gamescom for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, here it is.
What if I told you there was a connection between ancient cultures around the world? A great circle. Does it exist? Is it the key to some lost power? That's up to you to uncover. I'm Troy Baker, and I play Indy.
Of course.
It's humbling playing a character that so many people, myself included, look up to. As a kid, seeing Indiana Jones in the theater for the first time was a defining moment for me. And I never would have guessed that all these years later, I would be the one wearing the hat. But here I am. It's been a dream come true. A dream that I cannot wait for you to live for yourselves. The beauty of a first-person game like this is that we all get to feel what it's like to become Indy. You are the one who cracks the whip, who feels the weight of every punch and the thrill of finding every clue. Indy is such a unique character. A professor, an archaeologist, a brawler, an explorer, the quintessential all-around adventure. And this game has everything you'd expect from an Indiana Jones adventure. Mysterious artifacts, cunning villains, ancient discoveries, hard-hitting action. It's a world of constant danger where you've got to think on your feet to stay alive. The Great Circle spans the entire globe, from snake-filled jungle temples to scorpion-riddled desert tombs. Stunning open areas to explore freely, full of secrets for you to discover. And you'll get more than just the classic whip and revolver. Indy's journal and his camera will immerse you in the mystery, providing extra info on all of your finds so you can appreciate all of the little historical details he obsesses over. And those details are your key to solving the ancient puzzles that hold the secrets you're after. But ancient secrets don't come easy. It's best to have an exit strategy. This is an incredible new way to experience Indiana Jones, and I can't wait for you to play it. Hold on to your hat.
So there you have it, folks. That is the trailer for Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. As you can see, if you do pre-order, you do get the Last Crusade pack, which is the traveling outfit and the Lion Tamer whip early. Don't get me wrong, it is probably going to wind up being a great game on Xbox. I was hoping for gameplay. We have seen enough movie trailers, and don't get me wrong, it's a game based off the movie series. Yes. But gameplay, let us actually see how it is to play like Indy versus telling us that, oh, this is going to be great. You're going to be able to use the whip. You're going to have the hat. You're going to solve clues. Cool. Do you have any gameplay? Well, not really. That's a level of concern for me because December 9th is not too far off from now. And at this moment, it does inspire me with confidence because either that you don't have the gameplay worked out or you're not very confident in it. But fellas, what do y'all think?
I mean, everybody who's old enough to know Indiana Jones has also played 2 to 3 Uncharted games already. So get with the gameplay, or like, what's the point?
Right.
I don't need to be told about the immersive worlds and the adventures. We know what Indiana Jones is. We know how this game goes. We have played series and consoles worth of Uncharted and Tomb Raiders. We just shows what we're working with. Thanks for putting it on PlayStation, by the way. But like, still, what are we doing here?
Right.
It's got to be better than the last movie.
I didn't see it, but was Dial of Destiny that bad? Or was
it wasn't that it was bad. It's just that he was way too old to be doing this.
Yes.
Think Harrison Ford. If Harrison Ford was Clint Eastwood in an Indiana Jones movie.
Okay.
very grumpy, and just it didn't have that same idiot. It didn't have that same feel.
Now,
like
while
it
I'm
should.
looking forward to him in Brave New World,
Yeah,
that just didn't need to happen. Like that could have been a game
yeah.
before this game. Like, if you want to keep the Indiana Jones IP alive in this style, I mean, honestly, from that trailer, and shout out to Troy Baker, dude's literally on in everything.
So wasn't he Joel?
Joel,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was Joel.
the
in
Joker,
The Last of Us.
everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what they did in the game, like that feel and all this stuff, cool. Give a little bit of Uncharted, give a little bit of Tomb Raider, but keep it in the Indiana Jones thing. If you want to keep the IP going, games and or hell, what would really be a nice little series that they could do? Give us an animated movie series. You could keep Harrison Ford voicing it, but you could do a lot more with the character and the adventures without having to hurt his old bones.
That's a fair point.
I mean,
that's a fair one.
Okay, we got a Mummy animated series before we got an Indiana Jones animated series. How does that work?
Because we had a young Indiana Jones series before anything else.
I had to stop.
It was an hour long.
I was gonna say apply Kingdom Hearts.
Hey, you know what, Will? That's two. That's two tonight, sir. I've been back for a whole hour, 14 and 16.
I apologize profusely, but it was there. It was either swing at it or watch it pass me by.
Technically, he is right, though. Kingdom Hearts comes out roughly around the same time frame as an Indiana Jones movie.
Were they that far apart?
Well,
yes.
I was part of the generation that grew up on the Crystal Skull, so sorry.
We apologize for you. You had to watch that movie. We really feel for you.
It was very much during that era of shove Shia LaBeouf in everything.
Pretty much.
It's okay. Vietnam took care of no, not Vietnam. World War II took care of him.
Yep.
Damn.
And not a single tear was shed by anybody.
No, not at all.
The tank.
On top of that, we learned from a television news report in the background.
Damn.
Yeah. It was that bad. Well, that funny.
Yeah, but like we said, it would just be nice to have some gameplay to go along with it because like Tafara said, you're just basically doing another Uncharted at this point, which they did talk about bringing that back. So that's going to be interesting. But anyway, say what?
How does that work?
That's my question exactly.
I mean, they made a spin-off game, so
yeah. I don't think it's going to be Nathan Drake, but I think it's going to be
his daughter.
More than likely, yes.
Or those movies they forgot about because they just keep trying to make Spider-Man villains out of stuff for some reason.
Yeah, or make them heroes.
Well, I was gonna say it doesn't make much sense because if you pay attention to certain things in Uncharted 4, Last of Us is a sequel to Uncharted.
Yeah.
What? Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you look at the end stuff, where he's with his daughter, if you look at some of the newspapers, they start talking about overactivity of spores and mushrooms and whatnot, and violence erupting in random areas. That's why they're on that island.
Ding ding. So basically, linking The Last of Us to Uncharted.
I did not know that. Holy crap!
Yeah, look at some of the stuff on the TV and the newspapers while you're playing the daughter in the finale of Uncharted 4.
I haven't played either franchise. Sorry.
Not
for lack of trying.
I'm working my way through right now. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tafara. Say it one more time.
I'm working my way through the second Uncharted right now.
Oh, so you're at
the best one.
Yeah.
Also, guys, please keep in mind the best Indiana Jones is Temple of Doom. Here's why. It's the only one where he doesn't fight Nazis.
Yeah, that's gonna be the only thing. Yeah, I was gonna say that's
It's also the only time where Indiana Jones is basically is really Indiana Jones, because canonically, this Temple of Doom takes place before Raiders.
No, fair point. Because I was gonna say, because almost every movie he had Nazis except the indigenous people of a killer clan. But yeah, Killer Temple Clan. So you're right. But anyway, MechWarrior 5 also did have a trailer at Gamescom, and it's called MechWarrior 5 Clans. I have not seen this, so we're all going to be surprised.
3050 comes.
How much of your humanity are you willing to give to see tyranny fall?
We are Smoke
No.
Jack. Willing to tear everything down.
Mm-hmm.
They shall tremble before our might.
I'm live right now. I'm live.
This is the clan way.
I don't think of what vibe I'm getting, and I can't blank. I'm blank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a lot happening right now.
Okay, this is giving me heavy Armored Core vibes.
That's the game I'm trying to think of. Armored Core is what.
That's what I grew up playing.
Armored Core with like
New target.
Armored Core with Kingdom Hearts 1 gummy ship modification.
Yes.
You guys know this was a cartoon for like a while.
Really?
I believe you. I'm just talking about the mechanics. When they showed the 50 blocks that had a college thesis of notes on each one.
So that was MechWarrior 5 Clans. Yeah. I actually haven't played MechWarrior.
I love playing MechWarrior 5 on PlayStation 5.
So
much
I've
fun.
not played any Mech Warrior, but what me and Tapara was saying, I grew up playing Armored Core. And this gave me heavy Armored Core vibes, but with
the modifications look like the first gummy ship from the first Kingdom Hearts, which was
that was a lot of work.
A confusing info dump. And
okay, so lore wise, we go out into the stars, we colonize, we split up basically into kingdoms again. We have House Steiner, House Kurita, House Davian, and the Capella Federation. So think Davian, Britain, Japan. We got some other ones down there below. Davian is America. You can be anyone. Basically, they're just one giant political war, but a large military faction just leaves the known galaxy and leaves for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then 3050 rolls around and they roll back in with much more advanced technology.
Oh.
So everyone's got double heat sinks, extended range lasers, full tracking missiles, everything. New mech configurations, double armor plating, faster mechs, stronger mechs, and they are all clan based, which is why they're called the clans. And the way they do things is like they will bid areas for territory based on the amount of resources, because they've basically done what Thanos did. Like they maximize their utility with minimal resources and higher technology. So they just roll over all the world, all the federations, despite constant political intrigue, constant. We're talking Game of Thrones level political intrigue, but with giant robots as opposed to Hordor.
So they're trying to say this country needs some freedom.
Oh yeah, no, that's what happened. So they kind of, if I send you guys a cartoon link, you will definitely see which one is not quite Germany, which is J Clan Falcon.
Oh my god.
However, like some of them are pretty chill when they come in. Like Smoke Jaguar's like, you can resist us, we're gonna kick your ass. Or we can just integrate with you. And then like some of the other ones come in and are just like, look, here's what we got. Here's what you got. Do you really even want to do this? No? Great. We'll be over here. If you need us, we're over here. But just leave us over here and we'll leave you alone.
Nice.
So this is the invasion. This is the clan invasion. This is like where Battletech gets really goofy with its mechs, because it used to be just like, you shoot a few in the tabletop game, shoot a few lasers, shoot a missile, you're overheated. You lose a turn or two. You got to cool down, or you got to like find a way, or use a melee weapon. When the clans come in, I'm shooting lasers for like 18 turns, and I'm not stopping.
Oh,
damn.
Okay.
Damn. Well, that definitely is going to be interesting. But a few more trailers before we get to our state of wrestling and to our comic pulls. This one is a friendship trailer for Little Nightmares 3, which I did not expect them to make a 3, but this one actually looks pretty good.
Peggy 16.
I dig it. That was the trailer for Little Nightmares 3, the friendship trailer. As you can see, comes out in 2025. The artwork on this game has always really impressed me, but I give it a shot. I haven't actually even played Little Nightmares 2, but I'm gonna have to go back and try this before 3. But what do you guys think?
I'm curious where this is in the timeline, because we see the little white hooded guys, meaning it's either around or after the first one. But then 2 is actually a prequel story, we find out towards the end. So I'm curious where this plays in, and if it ties into the last 2, 3, if you count the mobile games at all. And if we even see the main character from the last 2 games, at all. And it seems like we're in like going to different terrains because the last couple games we've been in like dark, like gritty territories. We're going through a carnival and a desert and a bunch of other like brighter landscapes now. Also, I don't see like freak show people.
I mean, it makes sense. Joe, what do you think?
I've never played any of them.
They're
you should
short, but
get
they're
the first one shot.
Short, but they're a fun run if you ever want to try them.
The closest I ever got, and I don't even think it's like, I guess it's kind of equivalent because they have like similar art style, but that Lost in Dice game that kind of looks like a Tim Burton horror game.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I cannot pull up a picture in my head right now.
It's getting DLC right now.
I'm with Tafari on that one. I can't put the name. I know what you're talking about, but I can't put the name to it.
Let me
At least
Google
I
it.
think I know what you're talking about. Because I mean, for what it is, Little Nightmares is definitely fun. I mean, kind of a little bit of a horror aspect on number 3, which I dig because it was always that.
Lost in Random.
Okay, I know that one. I know that one then. But yeah, Little Nightmares is definitely fun. You should definitely give that a shot. But to get to the last two guys, again, I'm getting to this one first because apparently this was the surprise at the end of Gamescom night 1. All I can sit there and say is somebody's a Godfather fan.
You come to
This
me.
thing of ours. It's a brotherhood. Treachery. And deceit do not exist among us. Do you wish to commit yourself, your life, to this family?
And that's pretty much it. Yes, Mafia is coming out with a new game, Mafia the Old Country. Right now, it's still on a wish list level. If you played any of Mafia games, it's a different type of story to it. I mean, personally, my favorite was Mafia 3, or Mafia 2, and Mafia 3. So this one going back to the Old Country, this reminds me of Godfather Part 3 when he went to Italy with his wild nephew. Could it be that? Who knows? Will I give it a shot? Yeah. What do you guys think?
It looks like it's possibly gonna be early era Italian homeland mob stuff, but yeah, I never played any of the ones before, so 3 was my first one. I know you guys like to be historically accurate, just fast travel system for the love of God. That's all I'm asking.
We can only go from vineyard to vineyard. That's how Italians travel.
I mean, vineyard to vineyard, fine, but give me a horse or a goat or something. Like in Mafia 3, I was like, I can't call a cab, and I'm like, Black Men and Jim Crow, probably not. But still, I gotta drive. I gotta drive from place to place to like play. Like some of the missions are like far, like GTA don't wreck the car far, and it's like there's no way of skipping past it. And I'm just like, at least let me get this out the way before the clan rally mission. That's what made the whole playthrough fun. But yeah, vineyard to vineyard, like let me pay some grapes to get place to place. Mafia does a good job of telling the story. I didn't even know that. I never played 2, so I didn't even know that Vito was from an earlier game when he showed up.
Yeah.
Vito was kind of like a stand-in for Michael Corleone from Godfather 1.
Pretty much.
So we're not going to just talk about how you just,
He's not wrong.
There.
I mean, he's not wrong. So it's like
it's post-Vietnam, Louisiana. What do you want?
Right.
I believe it.
Like literally everyone hates you in the game. Every group and culture you come across outside of your own.
He ain't wrong.
To be fair, Vito doesn't hate him. Vito just respects the game.
Him, Vito, and the other guy who I think they were the Greeks.
They were the Irish.
They were the Irish.
So much worse.
The Italians and the Irish were partnered enough with us to leave us alone. Everyone else they sicked on us was just like.
We only had one other person. That was the Haitians.
Yeah.
No, it was the Haitians, and then Vito and the Italians, and then the Greeks.
No, and the Irish.
Irish.
It just all goes downhill.
Yeah, you had those three, but like even when they send like I think the Cubans after you, like they're saying like racist shit as you should.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, you can call guns, you can call hitmen, you can call everything except fast travel in this game.
No, you had fast travel in it. You could only go to like the main HQ though.
Yeah.
I think you could, but like those little areas just like drive all the way out here and steal like a truck.
Oh yeah, God no! Out in the boondocks and the swamps.
Yeah, like if you do that to go back to a main area, there was no travel. You just had to drive or walk.
Oh wow!
I wish that they would integrate into this. They did in LA Noire, and that's where you told your partner to drive.
Oh my! Every single time, I did not, unless the mission forced it. I never drove in LA Noire. I absolutely, after so many GTA missions, I despised it.
You just let the partner drive and look around and look at the scenery.
You know, y'all are mentioning some really fun games that have, driving memories and, walk up and shoot somebody. Did y'all ever play the Scarface game?
Yes.
I did not.
I didn't play GTA. I played Scarface.
It was just as bad.
With cheat codes. So I had the fastest car every time I needed to respawn. And man, the amount of chinga tu madres and all this, all through the game, loved it. Great game. Really kind of wish I could play that game again, like just to get the nostalgia hit, because that was my GTA.
Fair enough. Well, the last trailer we do got, guys, before we get to our state of wrestling, I wanted to show this one because, when I first saw Dune Awakening being a game, I was, turning it down. However, when I saw this trailer, it changed my mind. You guys check it out.
There is another path for you. Awaken.
You begin as a nameless prisoner. Sculpt your appearance, choose your background, and then crash into the planet. You are abandoned and alone. Hunted by sandworms. Scorched by the unforgiving sun. Ravaged by sunstroke. Stick to the shade. Chase the moving shadows. Survive. Welcome to Arrakis, the most dangerous planet in the universe. Meet hundreds of other players in the vast online world. Befriend or betray those you meet. Form a wary alliance, in this case, a spit dart rifle and a still suit, for your help taking down territorial deserters. Working with others will always increase your chance of staying alive. The Deserter Base. Climb to a vantage point and prepare for violence. Your choice of weapons and abilities determines your strategy. Swordmasters lead the charge into battle, literally. Repel ranged attacks with a shield and then take them out, one by one. Deploy the Hunter-Seeker and kill from the shadows. Take what you can from the Fallen. On Arrakis, nothing of value is wasted. Mine, harvest, and gather with your group to build bases and unlock more advanced equipment, like the Blood Purifier. Refine the blood you collected from your enemies to extract drinkable water. Craft improved equipment using fabricators. Replicate your bases in new locations with the blueprint system, and then sell blueprints of your architectural wonders to other players. Lead your group to become a guild. On Arrakis, a nameless prisoner can rise. Construct an ornithopter and take to the air. The world is yours to claim.
This is Duneman Keith Filari reminding you to vary your route. Return with the full spice lord. My crew found the shortcut we become
The in-game radio provides insight into key events happening across Arrakis. Map the desert. Discover landmarks, wrecked ships, and desert testing stations filled with forgotten technology. Arrakis is a vast planet. You can explore unique locations, uncover valuable resources, and search for secrets amongst the shifting dunes. And then, return to civilization triumphant with what you found. Harko Village throngs with people, spice traders, guild bankers, smugglers, house envoys, and of course, other players. Here, you will pledge allegiance to one of the great houses of Dune, the Harkonnen. But remember, to play politics, you need power. And on Arrakis, spice is power. In the deep desert beyond the shield wall, hundreds of players scour the landscape, hunting for spice. Every spice blow has the potential to become a heated battle, with multiple guilds vying for the precious melange. Even when it looks like defeat is inevitable, those who understand desert power can awaken Arrakis itself.
I really need to watch Dune.
I feel like you can. This is for people who maybe weren't feeling Dune but want to try to get into the lore, because that was a lot, but not in a bad.
Yeah,
And that's the reason why I wanted to show it, because the Dune that's on there right now, if you haven't seen it on Max, give it a shot. You really should. And hey, Kira, what's going on? But definitely should. Now, the reason why I wanted to point out Dune Awakening was the fact that they took a little bit of everything. You took a little bit of Mass Effect, a little bit of Starfield, a little bit of just close quarter combat, but you're also incorporating the world of Dune as we know it. So that when I saw this, that made me want to really watch it. But not only watch, but want to play it. However, it is only going to be on PC for now. Xbox and PlayStation dates will be announced later. But guys, what do we think? Because I'm sold on it. I'm sold on it to the point where I want to play it on PC. But I'm sorry, it's far. What'd you say?
Go ahead. You're fine. But yeah, I'm saying that could be its own game. But the fact that they're incorporating Dune, if they asking a lot of them here, but if Warner Brothers was to market or take care of this correctly, they could farm people into this to then build over to the third film. Because I watched it, but even then, I felt like I just was missing a lot when I saw the second one.
Yeah. But Shadow, what do you think?
It makes you want to go watch Dune. Like both of them. Like watch the original and then come back and watch the reboot. It's been on my list to watch for a long time now. Like out of all the franchises and sci-fi and everything that I've been watching over the years, that's the one I've missed, and I missed it twice. And just watching this game, like hearing the lore and seeing all this stuff, it makes me want to go watch, and then it makes me want to get be invested in actually trying to actually play that. I haven't. I don't do too much like online play like that. I'm a solo run through it by myself, all that stuff kind of guy. But that looked like it will be kind of fun to hop into. I'd say I would definitely give it a try.
And Lady Mandalorian said the new movies are much better than the original movies. I leave it up to the beholder on that one.
Are you saying that because of the CGI and we can do more now, or just because of the better quality?
It'll probably be better quality because the original Dune came out
mid-80s,
I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, from a technological standpoint, yeah, you're gonna have a lot better, clearer quality on that side. I'll give it that. But just saying. But again, those are our picks from Gamescom. There were a lot more out there, including there was a Black Ops 6. There was a First Berserker Kazakhstan. They really didn't show anything new. So again, that's the reason why we didn't show anything. But they are out there for a YouTube video, guys, for you to see. But really quickly, before we get to our comic pool, State of Wrestling. I wanted to bring up 2 topics with you guys. Let's see. She said, I feel the story is told better and does a better job pulling you in. Fair. That's fair. So 2 things I did want to cover for State of Wrestling tonight. From the WWE side, the Bloodline. Dude, and I just want to ask this question for all those that do watch wrestling. I know all of us in here do. Has the Bloodline story, because at this point we haven't seen SmackDown. SmackDown has actually ran its course for the night, so we haven't seen exactly what has happened. But going off of what we've known so far about the Bloodline, the fact that Roman Reigns has returned, Solo's kind of rogue Bloodline, and what everybody is hoping for the next SummerSlam, is this a viable storyline moving forward?
Yes, if they play it right. So we're pretty much building up to a true Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series. I mean, we've had the Bloodline go against all the enemies of Roman Reigns, all that stuff. Cool, fine. Now you have an opportunity to have the new and more ferocious Bloodline go against the original Bloodline. If by do it good and do it right, my thing would be have the original Bloodline win, show their dominance over this new young faction, and dissolve. There does not need to be a Bloodline after that, because Jay and let's say Sammy would only be there, like, not out of spite, but out of like, all right, look, we can't let them run rampant, and that's my brother. I mean, I guess I can help you too, Roman, but like, that's my brother. We had our differences, but that's my brother. And so the 4-on-4, and I feel like if they do it right, storytelling wise, you know, Roman going through everything, like Roman for the first time in 4 years got his ass whooped last week. No one came to help him out. Everyone in the locker room was like, "Yeah, now you know how it feels, punk." And so I think that playing to the storyline of him opening his eyes to like the stuff that he's dealt with everyone else, adds to his redemption arc. He gathers the original Bloodline. They have this Civil War. They do a thing. They have an amazing show. Doing something like that, putting those 2 teams together for a show like that, that's your main event. That's going to be great. Perfect. Cool. After that is over and you've destroyed this new young Bloodline, the original Bloodline, dissolve it. Everyone goes on their separate ways, does their separate things. If you want to run Jay and Jimmy again for tag teams, fine, cool, but I would rather keep them separate. And at that point, do something new, because the Bloodline will be going on that point. I don't think 5 years of the Bloodline would be viable. I think just capping it off at this 4-year mark. If my math is right, I feel like that would be the best way to end it. That's just me though. What do you guys think?
Tafari, Joe?
I have been completely out of touch with wrestling, so I get all my news through y'all.
All right, Joe?
I mean, settling it at Survivor Series makes sense. There's some other storylines I want to touch on, like the possible breakup of New Day. We're definitely heading in that direction.
Yeah.
We are definitely getting. What is the next pay-per-view? It's not next month, is it?
It's
Bad
Berlin. It's Berlin, which is
Oh,
next
match
Saturday.
in Berlin is 2 weeks from now.
Next Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's definitely going to be the KO versus.
That's KO versus Cody.
KO versus
of
Cody.
course, Cody retains, but that's going to kick off KO's heel turn.
Yeah.
So
Heel turn is going after LA Knight, one of the two.
Well, I mean,
LA Knight needs a feud with somebody since thank God Logan Paul is kind of.
I was going to say,
thank you.
Logan's reign run now, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, he re-signed his deal, so he can always come back.
Yeah,
I loved what they did with Dominic on his podcast. That was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that. Look, let me tell you something. In the time that I had been start back watching, and we talked about this on my podcast. Shout out to my podcast, Tease, whatever. I've watched Cody's journey, right? But I've also been able to watch Dominic's journey. Like, I came in right after they lost the tag team titles, but he was still tagging with his dad. Judgment Day was just forming. They were striking against Ray and Dom. And I've been able to be a part of Dom's journey from tag into the Judgment Day group and working on his own from then till now. And Dom is just so much fun to watch. Like, obviously he has nuclear heat. Like, the fact that no one lets him talk, it's great. How you're already a heel and you turn more heel by choosing Liv and everything that they've been doing with Dom is great. My thing is, I definitely want him to. He has gotten much better in the ring. I say put a little bit more effort into it. Maybe put a little bit more muscle on and everything. Dude, you want to go the full route of being your daddy, Mr. Guerrero.
Which they did. Speaking of that podcast, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You did hear that they were going to put him on a pole match or suspend him above the ring in a cage at one point, right?
I'm so hyped for that. But yeah, if they want to do that, lose the shirt. You already got the hair. Lose the mustache and embrace.
No. So even Undertaker in his podcast says the mustache is helping. It's reminding everybody of Eddie.
Well, keep it, lose it, whatever, but lose the shirt definitely, and give us more of that Latina heat, like persona. You've already got it. Give us more. And I think pairing him up with Liv now more than Rhea, him with Rhea was great. But the story that they're telling now, where if you really look at it, what actually has Rhea done for him outside of maybe help him win the North American Championship? She never helped him beat his dad. They would always either escape or he'd be left by himself to get beat up by somebody else. And Liv has just come in and give this man chicken tendies, PS5, updating the Judgment Day room, helped him learn how to stretch more than one muscle. All the moments that I would have definitely folded while Rhea was out. And then she helped him beat his dad, bro. Like, that's multiple things Liv has done compared to the one thing Rhea has done. He made the right choice.
Well, yeah, but we're also forgetting this is long-term storytelling because Liv and Baron said we're gonna break up the Judgment Day, and they're doing it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this because this is gonna probably be the most unpopular take of this whole entire podcast. Liv Morgan is being pushed to the point to where her title reign is going to be forever compromised because she is so protected in booking that it's not. I mean, she's not going to resonate as a heel or as a face at this point. She's going to register as annoying.
I can kind of see.
And the reason why I say
right now.
No, here's the reason why I say this, because when Rhea was a face, she was over. When Rhea was a heel, she was over. When Charlotte was a face, she was over. When Charlotte was a heel, she was over. When you had Sasha Banks, who I will talk about in AEW because that experiment is failing right now, only because of how she's a lot of things, but she was over. Morgan had one run, got one win over Ripley, and it's just like, you see the amount of things they have to do for her to keep her relevant, while they do very little for Rhea, who can get over on personality alone. So the whole idea that you have to add Dominic to her, the whole idea that you have to add a faction to her, I am just saying, it's a Solo problem. You can give Solo all the Samoan help you can, but if he's not getting over, it's a failed experiment.
Is it?
It is.
How long did it take for us to get Roman Reigns over?
I'm gonna be honest with you about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was actually over since he left the Shield.
No, it wasn't, because we didn't give him.
I will argue that
we didn't give him a chance because he got pushed on us in matches that he was not meant to be in.
But he got the John Cena treatment.
But he didn't earn the John Cena treatment into the fans. He got the John Cena treatment because he who can't be named.
Well, here's the thing about John Cena. Wasn't the John Cena treatment basically forcing him into almost every major contentious match for a continuous 36 months?
Not entirely.
Did they not do the same thing to Roman?
No, there's a difference between John Cena fighting everybody versus Roman Reigns fighting Brock Lesnar almost every pay-per-view.
But that's also another thing. Brock Lesnar, he's also another plan. That's also another great example of somebody being brought in and immediately pushed. Now, don't get me wrong. Young Brock, when he was destroying and you had Paul Heyman as his advocate, sold. That was even though they were less than 10-minute matches, he was Goldberg level. I will give him that. But he sold it. He sold it to the point to where you had Heyman behind you, you had booking behind you, you had the crowd behind you. Even Funny Brock, when he came back, when he was doing all the antics, the cowboy hat, the boombox, all that crap, he still got over with the crowd. So when you look at Roman, it's like Roman kept getting pushed in because, again, this is at the time of The Undertaker, when everybody didn't like the fact that Roman put The Undertaker down, even though The Undertaker was like, I'm basically giving you the rub. Now, we were still all salty because the ultimate rub was given to Brock Lesnar. He beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania and basically gave him his first loss. That is the ultimate rub. I will argue that in all of pro wrestling.
And it's already been said that he was concussed. He concussed The Undertaker in the first 3 minutes for not being safe, and they had to go home early.
Right.
Was this all under the management of a Mr.
Yeah. You know, Mr. My health is debilitating McMahon. I'm just saying my health is debilitating. But no,
I wonder why.
But the point I'm getting at with Morgan is the fact that they have to do so much for her, and I'm just like, she really got over on her own, and she didn't need all of this.
Well, I think the other problem we're forgetting is the brand she's on does not have a lot of high, and I'm not saying this like diminish what the workers there. Mm-hmm. She does not have a lot of high level competition at this point. It's either Rhea Ripley or because Becky Lynch is gone at the moment.
Yep.
They haven't called up any of the NXT women that does need to be there.
Yep.
Well, they do have Kiana James, but Kiana James. Oh, hi, lady. But Kiana James is even right. That's what I'm getting at. They called her up, and it's just like you've done nothing with her.
Nope.
They need what am I calling her right now? Female crush.
and who is that?
Who's female crush?
Luna Del Sol, female crush.
Ah, okay, gotcha. I wouldn't be against that, but
again, I mean, she is just female crush.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. She is, but that's the point. It is though. It's like yes, the I want to say the peak of your women's division is on SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
But I also want to sit there and say, on the Raw side of things, you have, and I hate to say this, like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I'm like, Zoe Stark should be getting pushed. She really should be getting pushed. Shayna Baszler should have been pushed because of her dominant run in NXT. But again, she's been associated to a Ronda Rousey who's kind of hiding under a rock right now, just because of her comments.
I was going to ask, I haven't seen that name in a minute. She just done with the world?
So she is done with the world because she did an AMA, and every question was about her being a Sadie Hook non-believer.
Yeah. And yeah,
every question.
She sat there and said the whole thing was a hoax, and I'm like, she tried to come back now and saying that was a dumb decision. I should never done it, but the damage has been done. So
absolutely, goodbye.
Yeah.
My favorite question is: when you return, are you going under the name Sadie Hook?
Damn. But what I'm getting at though is like, yes, the women's division does need to be pushed because again, there's tremendous talent in NXT that needs to be called up, but I don't know. I'll put it this way. I understand that Triple H is head of creative. I understand that he has people under him. I understand that there are producers at Raw and at SmackDown making decisions. But I kind of feel like with women's wrestling, it is starting to backpedal a little bit back to the Diva era, where you're not getting those matches. Like what the last time we had a 60-minute Iron Woman match was that what Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks for 60 minutes, and it opened Raw. When's the last time we've seen something like that? Of course, if you go to SmackDown, you see Jade Cargill, you see Naomi, you see Bianca Belair, and you see others that are also headlining. But at the same time, yeah, the women's wrestling is looking like it's starting to take more of a back step, and I'm hoping that's not the case.
On the main roster, NXT kind of has the best women's division in WWE right now.
They always have, though, for a while.
Like, and Sean knows how to push them.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It is. I mean, if you're looking at all divisions, NXT does have the best women's division right now. I just hope that the thing about it is, anytime they go from NXT, it's always been that are they going to flounder? Are they going to flourish? Are they going to go to the backside? And I said more women wrestlers going from NXT than men because Braun Breaker, bona fide stud. We knew where he was going.
He's a Steiner. He can only go one way.
Well,
right to the buffet.
I'm saying, I mean, even though he's a Steiner, the dude can go. And the fact that he doesn't really depend on the Steiner. He doesn't depend on the Steiner recliner or the Steiner Frankensteiner. He's kind of doing his own thing, but he flourished. Even the 4 horsewomen, every one of them, they flourished. So
we'll get to that in a moment.
Well, we only got so much time, Joe. Who did it? Who are you talking about?
No, boy.
What's she going by these days over in AEW?
Oh, Mercedes Moné.
That's what we call her. I call her Miss Botchalot.
Oh my god! I guess that's a good segue, right?
That's a good segue. That's a good segue to go to AEW. So that's a good.
I was going to say the only other thing we can add is, honest to God, I think we're going to have our first company champion because I think Joe Hendry's going to get that title.
Oh yeah, he should.
Give it to him. Give him at least 2 matches and give it back to Trick. He shouldn't even take him for Trick.
That's a whole other. You know what?
Yeah.
When we come up with another podcast, we will explain why they dropped the ball on him. But let me get into AEW so we can get into our comic polls. So AEW All In London is happening this Sunday. Just a quick rundown of the actual card. We do have Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm is defending. Mariah May, it looks like it's poised to where Mariah May actually win. Toni Storm has done great, has had a great run with the title. in my opinion, I'm just going to throw this around really quickly. If you're booking it, who would you have win?
I mean,
I'm not going to win that.
I mean, okay, so look, I don't watch
Oh,
AEW, but I know Tony Storm is thicker than a Snicker, so I'm gonna just say Tony Storm. That's me.
Joe?
Give it to the not Tony Storm person. I don't watch a lot of AEW anymore.
I'm with that, Mariah May. Tony Storm has had the belt for a very long time, and it started to get stale. She actually defended her belt against Saraya on Dynamite, which made no sense to defend your belt before pay-per-view. But I digress. So I think I would book as Mariah May winning. Now, to get to the heart of the matter, the TBS Championship, current champion Mercedes Moné will be facing Britt Baker for the TBS Championship. Or as Joe called her, Miss Botchalot. Who would you book to win? There wasn't my point of Joe.
I'm either one.
Again, I don't watch AEW that much since people have been leaving the company again.
I ain't never seen everybody point to Joe like, Joe?
Full house tonight. It's nice. Whole cast is here.
Everybody pointed Joe.
So, again, I don't watch. I'm not entirely sure. I thought she would go there and do good things, but I mean, I don't hear a lot of go there and do good things from AEW. I mean, hell, Edge left, had a I guess decent-ish run with Christian, and now you're sitting there with a broken ankle, leg, foot, whatever.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm just gonna just keep it short and sweet. The Mercedes Moné experiment is not working. It isn't. She came in, she took the title off Willow Nightingale, who was TBS champion. They even gave her an enforcer. Her mic skills, they just don't seem to translate very well. But her wrestling, like Joe said, it's cringy sometimes because the moves aren't as crisp, and at the same time, there is a lot of error on this part. The problem is with Mercedes Moné, I think that she's going to wind up. I think they're going to feed Baker to her to cement her title run. So they're probably going to have her. They're probably going to have Moné booked to win and retain the TBS Championship title.
I think the other thing that I was kind of saying about the Four Horsewomen thing earlier is this really does show how much WWE had to cover for her and had to protect her to ensure that she was one of the Four Horsewomen, because Becky definitely a stronger background. Becky definitely had the strongest background.
Fair.
Because I just got done with her biography. That woman's been wrestling since she was 16 because she lied to get into wrestling school.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you knew Charlotte was going to be decent. You knew Bailey was going to be decent just from all the work she constantly puts in.
Yeah.
But it just continuously shows when you're not as, and I don't think that they're not tight knit, but I think they work a little bit looser where it shows more of her weaknesses.
No, it's fair. I just think that if she's gonna flourish, if she's gonna make it AEW, it just has to be something different. AEW American Championship, MJF versus Will Ospreay. Should be a banger. I love MJF because he reminds me of old school. He reminds me of old school booking in a new age. Will Ospreay, amazing athlete. I love the fact that he is not scared to do a lot of aerial moves. And also, he's an Assassin's Creed fan, which is always a plus. If I was booking it, I would say Will Ospreay, but more than likely, because AEW is investing heavily in MJF, they'll probably have him booked to win and keep the title. But thoughts on that?
Will Ospreay is only as good as his opponent, because if you give him a crap opponent, he does not work well. But you give him someone like Kota Ibushi, where they had that banger match at G1 Climax that one time.
Yeah.
Which is still a meme to this day, with the camera looking back, that man really shines. MJF, they have to invest heavily in him because it's not that I don't see loyalty with him, is I think he is going to go wherever he will be the biggest.
Yeah.
And the moment he stops being the biggest in AEW, he's going to jump ship.
Yeah, but AEW is invested in him heavily.
They don't have a choice because I think Dean's not there at the moment, and Cesaro's not there at the moment. And I think Daniel Bryan got hurt because Daniel Bryan still continues to wrestle and work incredibly recklessly. I don't care what anybody says. I love Daniel Bryan, but Miz was absolutely correct in that shoot interview they had that one time.
Oh, the one that cemented Miz? The one that cemented
where Miz just flat out tells yeah, but I'm safe and I'll be doing this in my 50s and you'll be in a wheelchair by your mid-30s.
And it's funny that you bring up Bryan Danielson. Of course, Daniel Bryan, when he was in WWE, he's actually
he is in the thing. I thought that was Mordecai Black.
No. He's going to be facing Swerve Strickland for the world title. So it's title versus career. I think this is where this is going to be his swan song because Swerve Strickland is on a roll right now, and I love the fact that he is on a roll. I don't see Danielson getting booked to win. I see Strickland beating him, and then Danielson gets his whole send off into the sun thing. But yeah, that should be a good match anyway. But
I legit thought that was Mordecai Black, not Daniel Bryan.
Also another guy I didn't think about, Jack Perry, of course, with the scapegoat thing, because he's gonna have the TNT championship. He's facing Darby Allin in a coffin match, which again, if you don't know what a coffin match is, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically just taking your opponent into a coffin and slamming it shut. Shout out to The Undertaker for doing it first.
Question, because I am not doing this. Is Darby Allin able to stay on his own without Sting in his corner these days?
Yes,
because
because
just kind of clambering in the mid card because
they're really booking him toward the upper card now because it's kind of going back to where he was because when he was with Sting, it was kind of a mid card situation, but now because he's kind of on his own again, you see him being booked more toward the main event and high profile matches. And in this case, because of the match he had with Jack Perry on Blood and Guts, this is just the rubber match from it. So if I had to book it, I would say because it's a coffin match and because Jack Perry is with the Elite, they may book it to where he keeps the title and Darby Allin may be written off television for a while, just because the man is always doing something crazy. Also, the All-In Casino Gauntlet match, pretty much a free-for-all. Anybody can join. The only two things I wanted to bring up about this is that two people from WWE have now traveled over to London. Bobby Lashley and Ricochet. We found out earlier that Ricochet did sign a multi-year deal with AEW, and he's currently headed to London right now. Does this mean that also MVP is in London? So you have MVP, you have Bobby Lashley, you have Ricochet. I'm not saying it. I'm hoping for a Hurt Business-like faction to appear in AEW. It's highly needed. Will it happen at the Casino Gauntlet match? Don't know, but looking forward to watching it. Because the Hurt Business was a great faction in WWE until they decided not to back it. Take it how you will. MVP is saying that, creative just didn't believe in them or, things that
Vince didn't believe in them.
Yeah. That's kind of what he insinuated, but he didn't say with 100%, but he did kind of insinuate that. But we'll leave it at that. In the pre-show, Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii will be facing Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Should be a squash match because if you don't know who Tomohiro Ishii is, the bulldog of New Japan Wrestling, let's just say it should be a short match. That's all I'm going to say about that one. The other one, the triple threat match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship between FTR, the Young Bucks, and the Acclaimed. Should be a good one. Young Bucks are still holding the titles. They're still being the Elite. Acclaimed, I actually like them. Will Max Caster get his Hot 16 in? Maybe because it's uncensored. FTR has been a great tag team champion, kind of similar to the Dudley Boys as far as title reigns go. It could go either way as far as booking on that.
It's
But
the
guys,
Young Bucks. They're going to keep their titles because they're too narcissistic, and I don't like them.
Well, I mean, they are doing the heel thing, and it is working for them. I agree. I do agree with you on that, though.
I see it as this: if you're owner of the company, you can't wrestle.
True. You shouldn't be able to if you're EVPs, which is still weird. But hey, Kenny Omega has been quiet for a couple of this whole entire time. I kind of expect him to pop up, which would be actually cool. But the last match, of course, this is the last of the card for the AEW Trios titles. You have Christian Cage and the Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang versus the House of Black versus a unknown Trios group that won't be announced until Sunday. I kind of miss the fact that House of Black used to be Trio champions because I did like the House of Black rules. Christian Cage is in his villain era right now, and you can tell because he has on a turtleneck with no sleeves. So if that doesn't say villain to you, nothing does. The Bang Bang Gang kind of has downgraded because this is the same guys that used to be a part of Bullet Club back in New Japan and really haven't done a lot since. So if I was booking it, I'd give it back to the House of Black. But what do you guys think?
This is where the Hurt Locker or Hurt Inc. whatever comes into play.
They can't call it the Hurt Business. They can't call it the Hurt Business because it's trademarked. But you know what? That would be perfect. A three man group going into a trios tag match. That's freaking perfect for MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Ricochet to show up.
Called Pain Incorporated.
Ooh. I really want to look that up.
Pain Inc.
I kind of want to look and see if that's already trademarked because if it is, that's a dead giveaway. But that's pretty much the card for AEW. And again, that's the state of wrestling that we have so far. We will go more into it with WWE, AEW, and TNA because TNA has been making a lot of noise outside of just Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry invented himself and really got himself over. And you've heard his name, and I wish I could say he appears on this podcast, but unfortunately, we're not that far along yet. Say what?
I'm just a stand-in. Like a seat holder.
Not Joe Hendry, Joe. Joe Hendry. Although it will be interesting if we do get him on this podcast, and you're here, and that's going to be so weird. Say his name, and he appears.
No, we just have to say his name. We black out mine and put him in. I just turn around real quick, and then it just turns back around, and it's the other guy.
Ooh, that will be interesting. But
oh my goodness!
But yeah, we will definitely get more. We'll definitely get more into state of wrestling next week, guys. But we do need to go ahead and get.
I was going to say, did we cover the cancellation already? Or are we saving that for next week?
Save that for next week. Okay. We'll save that for next. We'll save that one for next week because that's right now the incels are having their victory run, and I'm just gonna leave that one.
I'll touch on it real quick. And we can go into more in depth next week. I don't mind that it got canceled because I felt the series was kind of mid because of the pacing issues and the ending that just kind of came out of left field.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I plan on it. But
I feel sad that it ended, that it got canceled because, we lost good Asian and Black representation in Star Wars yet again.
It should have went longer. It really should have. It could have went longer because I'm sorry. If Halo could get a season 2, that could have got a season 2. And Halo screwed the pooch royally on season 2. But before we get to our comic pool, guys, we do want to give a shout out to Rick's Comic City. If you're in the Tennessee area, definitely check them out. They have been Nashville's #1 go-to place for comics, for mangas, collectibles, things of that nature for going on almost 7 years now. They have 2 locations, Nashville, Tennessee, and Clarksville, Tennessee. Definitely check them out. Also, check out rickscomiccity.com, and where you can do the same things online, including order pulls, trade covers, that thing and that. those things, well, all the above, I should say. So you can definitely do that. Also, let them know the guys at GetBit sent you. It doesn't get you any discounts, but you see our mugs on their televisions. They show us love, so we want to show them love. Also, guys, if you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. They are the last places to where you can get experience. I get it. Barnes & Noble is cool. Starbucks is cool. Places to where you can get coffee anywhere else is cool. But going to a comic book store or going to a library is an experience. There are things there that you can sit there and talk about, can do, meet others, get other advice, and even invite somebody to actually see what's so fun about going to a comic book store or going to a local library. And kids, I cannot stress this enough. Most libraries have a banned book section. Please read it. You will be surprised about the stuff that they don't want you to know that you should know. Because again, expand your mind, expand your horizons, read the banned books. So again, guys, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check out Rick's Comic City. If you are not, support your local libraries, support your local comic book stores. You will miss them when they are gone. Joe, I do see you got the comic books up, sir. So whenever you're ready.
Yep. First book this week is Jenny Sparks. This is a Black Label book. This is a book written by Tom King with art by Jeff Spokes. Those unaware, we will be meeting Jenny Sparks soon. She is the leader of the Authority. The book is pretty much just starting with a multiversal version of Captain Atom. I'm unsure which one is starting to cause terror while monologuing, because he apparently is aware of all of the different versions of himself and keeps like roaming around and like just randomly murdering people while talking about which lies it is. And Jenny is still technically part of the Authority, so she is the superhero that keeps the superheroes in line and apparently cannot be killed. So we're just tracking her right now.
I'm not gonna lie. This issue was a little rough to read, and I say rough because you don't really have to make Jenny Sparks. You don't have to make her Constantine without the magic. I guess you can put it that way. What I mean by that is the level that they try to go with, even though this is DC Black Label, it just, like I said, I'll give the next issue a shot, but this first one was not a good one for me.
Yeah, I picked up a little bit of Constantine in this too from her, but like she's got electrical powers, right?
Yeah, she does, but it's just how they went about trying to, really establish her character. It just felt like y'all kind of did too much. Just saying. That's just me.
Yep. Next up, we got Green Lantern number 14. This is an Absolute Power tie-in. Hal Jordan escapes confinement, tries to flee. The Green Lantern style of Maze Robot tries to stop him. Hal finds a way out and takes along a crap ton of hero and villain weapons to the assembled forces of superheroes. That's pretty much the book.
But I love the fact that he had a room full of weapons, and he was like, I have to thank the Condiment King for this. That part was funny to me.
Is he flying the bed jet?
What?
Is he flying?
I don't think that was the Bat Jet. I don't think that was the Bat Jet. I forgot that was.
Yeah, he's flying the Bat Jet in this.
Oh, okay, it was Bat Jet. Okay, I'm wrong then.
No, that's the Bat Jet. That's the Bat Jet he's in.
Okay,
but like that's his cover art.
Oh, okay.
That was a good issue, though.
This was written by Jeremy Adams with art by Federico Parson and ink by Auclair Albert and colors by Romano Ferraro. So yeah, like I said, decent book. Green Lantern continues to go on, be a decent book. Thank God. Close the comics on accident.
You lost the screen for a second.
Yeah, I closed it on accident, trying to move it over. I think it just closed itself.
Oh no, you're good. But no, it was definitely a good issue. But let me get you back up. There you go.
There we go. Okay. Wonder Woman number 12. Also a Absolute Power tie-in. This is written by Tom King with art by Tony S. Daniel, colors by Leo Piccardi, God, I love this issue. This issue was so much fun. So they have got Digger here, and they are it is Damien and Diana. And they are trying to prove a theory of what method works best to extract information from villains. Batman's methodology of fear or Wonder Woman's methodology of love. Even though Wonder Woman's love is very tough love with a lot more violence. They continue to go back and forth using different methods. A lot of times, Damien Fear apparently is being tied and hanged upside down a whole lot in high places. Diana also has very sweet moments with Damien, where Damien finally is like, I think Diana goes like, "You are not over Alfred, are you?"
Yeah.
Damien's like, "It's my fault I got him killed. I did this. Nothing's been right since Pennyworth died." And then we learn what the methodology is. Because he's a Flash villain, he's an idiot. So he, in his own stupidity, gives up where everything is.
Oh, my God.
He really did. And it was a good issue, though. I did like the fact that you did see Damien and Diana did bond over that, over ways of torture and interrogation. Which is kind of weird for a Wonder Woman book, but it worked.
Well, Damien and Diana, honestly, is a very dangerous combo, and that actually makes me kind of want to read it.
Oh, you should. It was a good issue. It was.
Moving on over to Marvel, we got Miles Morales Annual #1. This is written by Cody Ziegler, who continues to knock this series right out the park. Art is still David Beldion, again, knocking it out of the park. And Proto Bunker's Donna Sanchez Almera is the colorist. Long and short of this one, we get various adventures of Miles as he goes to see his abuela in Puerto Rico. And adventures follow, including meeting and chatting Storm.
Which was very interesting.
But it was a good talk, and he got Storm's respect.
Yeah.
How interesting are we talking?
Oh,
just sitting there because, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Hurricanes are threatening Puerto Rico, and he finds Storm's there and fights her a little bit, thinking it's Storm in a bad mood, and it turns out Storm's trying to ease the hurricanes off Puerto Rico.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind right now, Miles is still a vampire.
Wait, what? Did I miss something?
Oh, you missed the blood hunt.
You missed the whole summer event where Blade got possessed by the first vampire, and Dracula, in killing it, made all vampires' weakness to the sun go away.
Oh my God!
Miles is a vampire. So yeah, you missed a lot in blood hunt, sir.
You know, stuff like this makes me miss Comic Store and even more, because I wouldn't have missed this if he was still here. R.I.P. Comic Store, man. We miss you.
All right.
Oh yeah, we miss you, but you also could have been listening to this podcast because we've been covering Blood Hunt since it started.
I've been at work. Leave me alone.
It's called a podcast, sir.
My
Is
name is
that
The
what
Wall.
it says at the bottom is guest starring Storm and Blood Hunt, or does that say Bloodline?
Bloodline.
Between you and Shadow, my name is The Wall, and that's between y'all. But anyway,
fantastic book. God, I love reading Miles. Of course, I just like reading good Spider-Man, and this is one of the few places we can get it.
Shots fired.
Yeah, because you're gonna not go back to the Amazing Spider-Man for a while.
Apparently not till after the 12 deaths of Spider-Man.
Oh my God.
So, by the way, Predator versus Black Panther, written by Benjamin Percy and Chris Allen, doing the artwork. Sean Damian Hill doing some art. Craig Yoon doing some art. Lee Ferguson doing some art. And colors by Eric Arcanija. Yeah. So the Predator race is starting to realize we've been all over Earth.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't hunted in the Wakanda yet. Let's see what that's like. And they even know what vibranium is too, because they've experienced elsewhere in space.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this country knows how to use vibranium. This will be a really good hunt.
So it's an interesting issue. I will say that it is interesting to see how they're going with this. I'm like, how many ways can you tell a Predator story? Because we've kind of seen it and done it, but they actually do kind of do this one a little bit more of a refreshing side of it. I don't want to spoil it just because it's really worth reading because
it really is.
Yeah, because I was like on the fence. I was on the fence because the first thing I see Predator, I'm like, against Black Panther though, which the way they're telling the story makes you want to read it.
Which Panther?
Is it as good as Batman
T'Challa?
Predator though?
Yeah, it's T'Challa.
Okay.
It's T'Challa. Is it as good as Batman Predator though? We will say yet to be seen because this is a promising start. Because we do get quite a bit of time on the Predator homeworld before we see them in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And it's not just one Predator in Wakanda. It's like a whole hunt party.
Oh.
It's very rare.
Oh, they invaded with a troop. It wasn't just one.
Because they recognize the danger of the door. So they're like, we're going to need more than one.
I love the respect level. It's like they saw the Dora Milaje and said, we're calling back up. if that tells you anything, if an alien predator race looks at a bunch of highly trained black women and sat there and said, "We gonna need more of us,"
we're gonna need at least three. We're gonna need at least three more.
They're not pulling the U.S. agent. He's like, you ain't getting my ass disrespected.
They fear the Dora Milaje more than they do Xenomorphs. I love that. I'm gonna check this out now. This is making me hyped for it.
It's almost as if the John Walker beatdown transcends space. It's like we've seen what happened to him with a shield.
Oh,
Could you imagine what they do with a spear? With our spear? Just
oh boy.
Woo.
All right, Scarlet Witch number 3. This is written by Steve Orlando with, we know that guy. Art by Russell Dodderman and Jacopo Kamanagi and Kamanji, and colors by Frank Wilson Matthew Wilson and Frank William. That's on me. Wanda just gets out of the Scarlet Road after fighting Laura, who is a multiversal doppelganger that is kind of like trying to do Jet Li's The One across the multiverse.
Oh my god.
Ultimate Scarlet Witch. Darcy goes to Hex Finder, and Ash is like, I kind of need you to bring Wanda back. They're like, Joseph's soul's a little different. He was a mutant whose soul kind of like hangs in the ether in the white hot room where I can just kind of grab him. Wanda's soul's on Witch Road. That's a different story. Meanwhile, Pietro and Lorna are still fighting the thing that killed Wanda the first time. She does come back, but which Wanda comes back?
Right. That's going to be the question for the next issue. It's like, we dealing with Wanda that you know, or the Scarlet Witch that you may want to run from?
Oh yeah. Either way, good book. Steve Orlando. Steve continues to kill this book. I love it so much. Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. The Spider-Man worth reading. The Spider-Man that outsells the Winged Spider-Man book every time it's on the newsstands. This time,
Still
we make ourselves known on this. So in this one, Pete talks to Iron Man both remotely and in flashbacks. Meanwhile, his son has a birthday party, and J. Jonah Jameson and Uncle Ben kind of corner him. It's like, I kind of need you to work for us on the paper. Meanwhile, still Mary Jane, I love it to death that she's like, talking to the ball again? Yeah. Who is it? He says his name is Iron Man. All right, just remember we got the birthday party in 10 minutes.
The love it's it's funny how the level of normal she has with that. It's like, oh, he's talking to a ball. That's not crazy at all. But just remember, we have a party to get to.
And Peter actually makes it to the party.
Yay.
Because this is no. See, here's the thing. Peter's 35 with 2 kids and is just now Spider-Man. His life is in a complete shambles at the moment. He knows what work-life balance, superhero work-life balance is. He is in his 30s. No, it's not even that he has happiness. It's because he's had enough time to become an actual adult, not a perpetual 16-year-old attached to May's hip.
Oh, shots fired.
Also, because he was raised by Uncle Ben. And apparently Uncle Ben is not sweet Uncle Ben like always. Uncle Ben is your pretty typical uncle.
Hey. I'm an uncle. What you mean?
The one that you will invite back to Thanksgiving, but is still going to teach the younger kid, no, this is right and this is wrong.
Oh, okay. So me. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay. Father figure uncle is what he's getting at.
Ah, there you go. Cool. I mean, hey, well, we're just happy to see a universe with Uncle Ben, still alive and kicking.
And best friends with J. Jonah Jameson.
Well,
that's still weird.
That's a very weird take, but honestly, it makes sense.
That is still weird.
All right, this is from last week. We're looking at X Factor. This is written by Mark Russell, art by Bob Quinn, colors by Jesus Abrativ. So the original team, which we see some of it here of Pharaoh and Angel and Fire Fist and not Cypher, something to do with tech bombs and okay, I'll just come out with it. This is Ecstatics. This is Ecstatics with masquerading as an X Factor book.
Damn.
This is all about government public relation ratings going up depending on who your mutant team is comprised of and if they live or die on their missions.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's X-Men with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's Ecstatics.
No. I couldn't. I tried. For this one, I was like, yeah, this may not be my cup of tea for this one.
It's not a lot of people's cup of tea. It is my cup of tea because I read Ecstatics. I knew what as soon as something went immediately wrong, it's like this first team is immediately gonna all die, and we're gonna get the real team of X Factor later on, which is the real what happens. Even though Lorna is really not happy with Havoc, who I guess stumped Madeline and went back with Lorna.
They still haven't explained that one.
That or when he became alive again, Madeline's like, well, you bore me now. Go shoot.
After all she went through to bring him back from the dead, and you know what? Never mind. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Havoc. Lord only knows what he screwed up, or like I said, Maddie probably just got bored. Or they've worked out and he sees Maddie every other Tuesday.
Well, maybe he can go back to Janet. Oh, wait, is that still canon?
Yes.
Well, oops.
So anyway, Havoc is now the new team leader. He has a decent team of Celia Reyes, Pyro, Angel, a new mutant, which apparently the new overarching story is mutancy is starting to pop up in older people as opposed to young adults now.
Yeah.
Because we have an unkillable grandmother on the team.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was weird.
Bastion's mom.
No, they took care of that woman pretty well. Decent book, definitely not for everybody's taste. I will be very upfront with that. I enjoyed it because I saw it exactly for what it was and knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to see how long this book can keep that up or if it actually becomes like a normal X Factor book later on.
All right.
We got Transformers, written by Daniel Warren Johnson with art by Jorge Corona and Mike Spicer. Pretty much Optimus has had enough of it and is going to go right after Shockwave with the repaired Ultra Magnus and the rest of the Autobots, while still armed, literally, with Megatron's armed with the plasma cannon. Wrestling moves ensue. Things are said. And apparently, Shockwave is so terrifying that he mind breaks Ultra Magnus to where Ultra Magnus lays down his gun and says, "I'm not fighting Cam. Get me the hell out of here."
Okay.
And even Shockwave is like, "See, I can do this to people, Prime. Do you really want to go with it?" And then Prime just like gets ready to shoot him. So again, Shockwave being worse than the devil. Still feel bad for Soundwave because he's still carrying around Ravage. Won't somebody please fix my cat?
Oh my god!
Wow.
That's what's going to make him flip when the Autobot sounds like, "We'll repair Ravage." I mean, that's what's going to make him flip. I guarantee it.
Damn.
And then last one of the night, Ultraman meets the Avengers. This is written by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom of Power Rangers fandom. And comic book writing, art is by Francisco Mana and color by Matt Mila. Pretty much Galactus gets tired of dealing with the Marvel Universe because they always stop him from eating, so he goes to the Ultraman universe. Comes across one of the Ultraman enemy planets and pretty much does the same thing he always does. Gives them a Faustian contract. I won't eat your planet, but you will serve me. So he does that with Barmar, one of the Ultra aliens, who immediately goes, "I know a place you can eat." And then a dimensional portal opens up because I don't know what the Avengers were doing, but it puts Miles in the Ultra universe.
Always Miles, of all people.
Yep.
But don't worry, Miles is not getting this.
You had me at Cal Higgins. I mean, you saw what he did with Power Rangers. So.
Rest of Avengers, they get to know the Secret Science or the Super Science Security Squadron. And Ultraman fights break out, Avenger fights break out, and it's pretty much the issue. It's a really good issue. This is the technical continuation of the Ultraman series. So from Trials of Ultraman to this.
Nice.
Okay.
They even bring up plot points because they don't know who Miles is initially, and they're wondering if it's for that one group that had the bioorganic kaiju they made. Remember the Greenpeace group that made the kaiju to destroy the kaiju that was going to destroy the planet?
Yeah, I got you. No, it's a good, but it's a good issue. I do highly recommend this one as well. But yeah, it was good.
Yep. Book of the week. We actually had some really strong choices. It's either this or Wonder Woman for me.
Mine's going to Green Lantern, just because Hal with a room full of weapons and trying to escape. That was fun. That was fun for
me. Not Black Panther versus Predator.
It's Black Panther versus Predator is good, but the second issue better be amazing to me, because I'm like, you're not about to give me an issue like that, and then the second one is dull or just boring. So that's the reason why I'm kind of like, I know what Absolute Power is going to do because I've already seen Nightwing kind of take the lead. So I already know where that's going. So that's why I'm saying I'm just on the fence about the other side.
I did have a Black Panther question. I am not familiar with the book enough. Who are the dudes in the White Panther suits?
Oh, that's their attack squadron.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not familiar with Black Panther War beyond the movies.
They have a certain name, and if the man on the wall is still watching, could you tell us that certain name, sir? Because your Black Panther knowledge is stronger than mine. I just can't think of the name of that troop that wears the white suits at the moment, but I'm pretty sure you guys know.
Is it not the War Dogs? Like, are they the?
No,
are they
I don't know if it's the War Dogs or not, but it might just be. But we'll get that question answered later on. But as we are wrapping this up, guys, we do want to thank everybody that commented, liked, watched, shared. We certainly appreciate that. And I usually go random with this one. So, Tafari, you want to let people know what you're doing, sir?
So I am currently in the middle of doing a weekly rewatch of X-Men Evolution because 97 is taking too long for season 2, and I need my Wednesday fix. That has surprisingly gotten a lot more traction than I expected. I also did a skit about 20v1 videos because those are also getting hell of annoying. On the Blurred's Eye page, officially all of our DreamCon interviews are out. So we have Chase Conley, who worked at X-Men 97. We have Kev on stage, who did his first convention and first press conference and got to do his first cosplay and everything, and that was pretty cool. We have, who else did we talk to? We had Kev, we had Chase. Cleo Thomas dropped today, and that was another one we got to do. Talked about his new film Vigilante, new horror movie he just booked. I know I am blanking on another name, and it is staring me right in the face. Najee Jeter. We spoke to Najee Jeter, who plays Miles Morales in the Spider-Man Insomniac games. That was also a cool conversation. Next two interviews we have are coming from BlurredCon. So we got to sit with Phil Lamar and Atan Wakani, who plays young King T'Chaka in What If and the Black Panther film. So those all premiere on Fridays. We do like a live chat premiere during. Subscribe to me. Check out Blurred's Eye View in the podcast channel. It's a lot of fun. Got a real fun talking to these people, chance to meet and greet and all that, and pick their brains for a little bit.
Cool. Shadow, you want to let people know what you're doing, sir?
I stand ready to fight. No, dude, I am. So I mentioned it earlier. I'm currently working on my storytelling channel, Shadowverse Comics. October is basically Dragon Ball month with Daima coming out and with Sparking Zero coming out. So my goal is to drop at least 4 Dragon Ball What Ifs. I am currently working on them right now. I've got a couple of these like arts that I've made and everything. That's my current project. Of course, I'm always working on my 18 and up brand, Shadow After Dark, taking pictures at conventions for Shadow Creatives. It's right here. You can see that. And yeah, I have a new schedule. I have time to do things now. So now I'm going to maximize that time to actually do all the things.
All right. Joe, well, if you know what you're doing, sir.
I'm doing stuff.
I would hope so.
Oh, right. We got Ultraman things happening.
Which Ultraman watches?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm watching a lot of Ultraman right now. I just got Ultraman Max in the mail.
Oh, nice.
The series is hilarious. Because they had to course correct from the previous series, which was very dark.
Nice.
No, Tafari and I are watching Ultraman Arc, which is the current series. We skipped this week because Clip Show. New episode comes out tonight. So we'll be doing that next week. Maybe we'll drag Shadow into that one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how timetables work. Other than that, I've just been playing a lot of Monster Hunter and a lot of Alien Dark Descent. That's a very hard game. Or Alien Isolation. That's a very scary game.
Nope, I'm not playing that. I refuse to play a game where I can't fight back. I refuse to play a game where I cannot fight back. I'm not good at hiding in stealth games. I want to be able to fight the alien, or at least have a fighting chance of fighting the alien. But that's just me.
You're not a Colonial Marine in that game. They even take your stuff away. You can kill face huggers, and that's about it.
I'm good. I'm good. I'll stick with Fire Team.
Alien Romulus, still fantastic movie, even though the third act is super weird. I recommend everybody go see it. I recommend everybody please go vote. Oh my God, please guys go vote. There are now voting initiatives out in Tennessee to help get everybody registered to vote. Please go vote. I cannot say it enough.
Yeah, can't argue that. Also, vote.org can help you out as well. But all right, so I guess I'm up. But before I do get to me, guys, some shameless plugging, as I usually want to do. I do want to shout out first blurredstation.com. We have been talking about Blurred Station now for going on a couple months. It is the table, the building, the vehicle that we've all asked for. for our content to be shown and streamed the same way Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime do it. You can definitely check out BlurStation.com, and if you do want to join, hit the Join Now button. Select the Blur's Eye View Affinity membership. You can select any member there, myself, Black Spartan, or Tafari, or Tafari TV, or anybody else there. We would certainly appreciate it. It is $10.99 a month. $10.99 a month to basically watch and stream Blur Station. And again, after 36 months, guys, you do have the opportunity to own a piece of Blur Station. And again, this is the vehicle that is different from Tubi because because the content is owned by us. And if you are a content creator and want your content to be shown on Blur Station, you first must join Blur Station as a member. That'll allow you to speak to people behind the curtain. If everything works out, then your content can also be shown on Blur Station. Content that you own, and yet Blur Station just wants a piece of distribution. Not a bad deal at all. But definitely check out BlurStation.com because trust me, it is only going to get bigger. That's what she said. Besides me, guys, you can find me, Black Spartan, or I should say Black _ Spartan 615 on the interwebs, on the socials. I usually do reviews on everything and gym stuff and also baby stuff because, yes, my baby daughter, my baby girl Zuri was born just last, a week and a half ago. And yet I am being that type of father. I am posting my child every second I get, and I make no apologies for it. At the same time, a very social person. Just don't be weird. That's all I ask. Don't be weird. I do not want to have this blocking. I don't know, all the weird comments, things of that nature. Just don't. Be normal. You'll be fine. At the same time, guys, our podcast can be seen wherever podcasts can be found or heard. Also, always record TV, APR TV on all apps, including Roku, where you can see all shows, including this one there as well. And at the same time, guys, again, like, share, and follow. Like the good Reverend Navy Montel says, a like, a share, and follow costs nothing, but means everything. At the same time, guys, definitely check out Tafari at Tafari TV because con season is still going on. He has wonderful videos on how to prepare for a con, how to act at a con, and also post-con activities. Highly recommend you watch these videos because they will definitely help you out. But that being said, I do have a couple rules for myself. Number one, respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplaying is for everybody. Cosplay is not consent. What I mean by that is, guys, treat them like human beings. Yes, it takes a lot to dress up in your favorite cosplay and also to go out in front of a crowd, in front of people, and still, not be judged or not be seen as eye candy or not be groped or, God forbid, the other darker stories you've been hearing out of these cons. Simply put, treat them like individuals or treat them the way you want to be treated. It's just that simple. Also, cosplay is for everybody. Regardless of your height, weight, preferences, or choices, you can cosplay as anything that you want to be. The only thing you shouldn't do is blackface. Don't want your ass kicked at a con? Don't do blackface. That freaking simple. Number two, hygiene is important. Please wash your ass. Please brush your teeth. Please use mouthwash. Please wear clean clothes. There is next to nothing in room at these cons. And again, if you have a musk or a smell and it comes in before you, please do something about it before you come to a con. And also, native deodorant doesn't work. Just saying. And number three is the same rule that I have for myself as I have for everybody else. These cons, be nice, be kind, talk and share your fandoms. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But as we're wrapping this up, guys, again, we want to thank everybody that's watching, that's liking this. We cannot thank you guys enough. We will hopefully be back here same time next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, as we do cover the news and as well as talking about that elephant in the room that did not get a season 2 and our state of wrestling and our comic polls. But as we're wrapping this up, guys, any last words we call tonight?
The kids got school.
Whoa!
That went, the spectrum on that just went from this end to Cody Rhodes. I did not see that coming. That being said, guys, again, share fandoms. Don't be toxic gatekeepers. Don't dislike people because their tastes are different than you. Be open, be mindful, be nice, be kind. It is that effing simple. And also, go vote. This has been the Give It Podcast, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please take care of yourselves and each other. We'll get through this. Please stay hydrated. We don't need people falling out. Peace.
Later.